The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you, of course, the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined, as per the usual, by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and we can't forget the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker,
who can barely talk today at all, but somehow
all
I
right,
think
that was an intentionally exaggerated.
Yeah.
My voice is a little rough.
as
today.
you may notice throughout the episode, Wayne barely has a voice, so that may be a good thing or a bad thing that he's not going to talk as much as normal.
Probably a good thing.
Nah, I don't know. They've let us across state borders again, and I don't know why people keep letting us do this.
Get out. Just go.
I mean, I can do that if you want. But, of course, we're here, and it's very long-awaited, and I'm excited to finally be here. I broke out the E word for you. We're at Cape May Brewing Company, here, of course, in Cape May, New Jersey. Where else would it be? But we have with us two guys now, possibly a third will be jumping in and out. He's got a business to run and all. But we have with us, you know him by now,
Mark Graves.
Rockin Tuna Gravy Sauce.
Pickles.
And we can't forget Pickles, of course. And we have with us
Jimmy Valm.
Jimmy, Mark, thank you guys for having us down here.
Yeah.
Jimmy will have a nickname before the end of the show.
Probably.
I'm sure, and it'll be as embarrassing as Mark's.
We can only hope.
Pretty hard.
We can only hope.
I have a lot of them.
But it was a long, well, not too long of a drive. It was a nice drive, little like rural drive down here. You could see kind of the sea town on the way down.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it was worth the drive. We had a very important
view.
Wawa run we had to make, which
We did.
Jersey is the land of Wawa, not sheets.
Yeah.
And jug handles.
And jug handles.
wear the jug
I don't
handles.
like that about Jersey. And working in the state for
We've
2.5
talked about jug handles on this podcast
lot,
every
I know.
time we've come to
I
New
know.
Jersey. I don't know. It's always
I
a
had
thing.
blueberry pancakes, though. New
That's
Jersey
pretty
knows
nice.
how to make blueberry pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, definitely.
Can't really go wrong with that.
And Jersey also has where we stopped at like an old school Wawa. Like they didn't even have gas.
Yeah, old school.
So-
Those are rare these days.
Yeah, I feel
They
weird
don't
when
have
I'm at
them
one of those
anymore.
Wawas because I could use a full tank of gas by the time we leave because it's cheaper here. But I got to be careful which Wawa I go to. Any suggestions?
No.
And yeah, any of them that has gas.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Walked right into that one, didn't I? Well, we've got
Today's
a
episode brought to you by Wawa.
lot. Checks made payable too. No.
Send gift cards. Please.
Send gift cards or coffee or both. But we've got,
Hoagies. Send hoagies.
can't forget the hoagies.
Yes.
We've got a lot to do today, so let's get to this. I got to be honest, I don't have news. I just wanted to hit the button.
That's all right. We have plenty of stuff to talk
We
about.
do. Actually, I did see, or Wayne, did you?
I was going to say, speaking of Wawa, today's episode is brought to you in part by Audible. You can go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters and sign up for your free 30-day trial of Audible.
Or you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters and give us money.
All right, now that that's out of the way, continue.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't have news, but I did see something at least on the interwebs on Facebook. So somebody added me to a Facebook group, Beer Nerds. I'm sure at least one or more of us at the table is on that group. But somebody posted an article the other day. Admittedly, I didn't read it, but I got the gist from the headlines. It was something about...
That's so millennial of
I
you.
know. Well, no, I didn't want to read it because
I read the
honestly,
headline, so
a
I'm
lot of
You're what's wrong with America.
A lot of the
Yeah, pretty
comments
much.
on it steered me away, but the headline had to do with the fact that...
You won't believe what happened next.
You won't believe what number 13 on this list was. Beer distributors, bottle shops, anywhere that you are able to buy your beer, because of the transition from IPA to other styles as like the big thing in beer, you now have IPAs that are sitting on the shelves for a very long time. So you run the
Shelf
risk of
turds.
yes. So you run the risk of somebody coming in there, taking a chance on your bottle of IPA that is maybe dust covered, and at that point they have a shelf turd, for lack of a better way to put it. So I am curious what two guys in the industry have to say about that. What do you guys think about that?
Put a best before date on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you a fan of like the Stone Enjoy By
I was just gonna
series?
say,
I
make it the name of the beer.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stone obviously beat us all to the punch on that one, but I think
Yeah.
having a best before date on there, and it's going to be different for every brewery, depending on the hop load and whether or not they pasteurize or filter or anything like that. But yeah, definitely, putting a best before date on there, simple and easy. And there are a lot of, for any craft brewery operators out there, there's a lot of affordable inkjet printers that you can put onto your bottle labels and let people know what the best before date is.
And there are breweries out there that will buy back the beer if it's not sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to make
yes.
sure that it's not being sold after the date.
But have
Yep.
you guys ever come across? Do you guys have Best Buy dates on yours?
Not at the moment. Thanks
Okay.
for throwing me under the bus
Hey,
there. But
no
no, but we will very, very soon. We're working. I know about the inkjet printers because I've been researching them at length over the last couple of weeks.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So at least
We're
it's something
getting
you're getting into. Have you guys come across that with your own beers though? Like people?
No,
Okay.
not really. No, haven't seen it happen. Yeah,
Good.
we got a pretty good turnover.
Cool. Now, it also, I guess it has to do with like your distribution and what you're making as a brewery. So if you guys, there's a board up here that I'm sure we have a picture of that'll end up online that has like 100 beers on it almost. But if you guys distribute, are you careful about what you distribute? Because I know, Mark, you brought us bottles of Coastal Evacuation before, which
Yeah.
they're very, very good. But
Yeah, and then I brought a skeg to the 100th anniversary too.
yes. But if you guys distribute, are you careful about what you distribute to make sure there's other offerings?
Yeah, a little bit. So like we keg up a lot more than we bottle, and so when it comes to the bottle beer, that helps out. There's really only a few core beers that we bottle. Like you said, there's 21 up on the board, and I think only 3 or 4 of them we're bottling at the moment. So when
we have
let's
a
go on.
wide like draft accounts. There's a humongous variety. There's like a new beer coming out every week or two.
Wow.
And bottled wise, we've been increasing with that. I'd say probably in the last couple months we probably bottled 6 different brands, I think.
Yeah.
Between all the specialty stuff. So it's a work in progress with the packaged product, but the draft, we have a large variety that's making it out there.
And you guys self-distribute,
We
correct?
self-distribute
I know you
in
have
New Jersey.
100 plus varieties that you're distributing, but do you think that helps you being the ones that are
It does,
taking it
because
out there?
one of the things that we do is we dictate to all of our outlets that they have to keep the beer refrigerated. They can't leave the beer out, kegs or bottles. It always has to stay refrigerated.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
one of the things that helps. Yeah, if you're going to carry our 6-packs, they have to be kept in a fridge. They can't be out on the shelf.
I'm trying to wrap my brain to think if I've seen any that were just on the shelves. I used to work in Cherry Hill. There was a Total Wine right across the street.
Oh, yeah,
from the
yeah.
mall, and I know I'd seen your beers there. I don't know.
They have they have pretty many refrigerators there.
They
too.
do, but I don't think I ever looked at the refrigerator section. Not to throw them under a bus, but this was
check
also
that out.
probably 2 years
Get
ago.
your act together. No, anyway. Yeah, no, we've got like really good reps they're making the rounds every day, every week. They don't work out of the office. They're on the road all the time, hitting all the different places. So they're double checking and making sure that the beer is kept
Good.
cold. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. It's all unfiltered and unpasteurized.
Even with the
so
draft accounts, they're going in there, checking the lines, cleaning the lines. If
we clean all of
necessary.
our own lines. All around the state.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the things. I don't know if that's allowed in Pennsylvania. New Jersey, it is. So at every draft account, we clean our own lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you see
we
Cape
be.
May, it's going to be a fresh product. It's going
Which
to be a good
yeah.
I
product.
guess if you're self-distributing, lets you have
Yep.
greater control over it. So that
Yep.
makes sense then. That's awesome. Well, how far is your distribution?
So we're up to just the southern end of Monmouth County in New Jersey. So it's just like the southern half of New Jersey,
Okay.
and then Philadelphia and the 5 counties surrounding Philly. Yeah.
Very cool. And you also not only distribute, but you do a lot of beer releases here at the brewery as well.
Oh yeah, constantly. Yeah, even what is it? It's just past noon on a Wednesday or on a Friday, I guess. In the middle of winter here at this beach town, and the place is already pretty busy, and it was busy yesterday. So yeah, we do a lot of releases here. Get people into the tasting room. Get people down to Cape
It's
May.
we have a chef on staff, JP. What's up, JP? And every Wednesday we release a soda that he makes, as well as every Thursday, I believe it is. It's a keg of beer that he takes and adds some
Other way
specialty
around.
flavor. Other way
Other
around.
way around. Yeah, so it's
Wednesday's
our
the beer,
one-off Wednesday.
Thursday's
One-off Wednesday.
the soda. But
Yeah.
it keeps things interesting, and on top of that, we have pretty much a new beer come out every week, whether it's an older one or a new release. So keeps things interesting, even with that large board.
And so is that important to you guys to constantly be pushing out new and different products?
Yeah. We love doing it. It keeps it really interesting and fun for the brewers and for everybody who works here. There's always new stuff coming out, but also our fans and our customers demand it pretty much. They're always, what's new? What do you guys got that's new?
Yeah,
so
beer drinkers can be kind of hard to please because
Yeah.
they always have to
That's
have
true.
something
That's
new.
true.
yeah,
Impress me.
That's such a finicky bunch.
What have I had not had yet? And you also use a lot of local ingredients. And one of the beers we were sipping on before we put the microphones in front of us was a 100% New Jersey ingredient beer.
I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah. Cape May is a beach town, but it's right outside. There's some local farms, and it's right outside of all the farming communities here in New Jersey. And so there's a lot of local farmers doing really cool stuff. We've got the first beer that was made with certified Jersey fresh ingredients. Our honey porter that's made with New Jersey honey, and then the one that you guys had, the Three Plows. Yeah, the first modern 100% New Jersey ingredient beer. The malt, the hops, the yeast, and of course the water all came from New Jersey. So working within the local community, working with the local farmers, because also it's a lot of fun, and it's one of the things that we love focusing on. And it's great working with the farmers because they might come out with ideas that we maybe haven't even thought of. Or like local restaurants. We did Beats by May a couple of months ago. That was actually kind of a collaboration between us and Farm and Fishermen up in Cherry Hill. And they said, they got a beet specialty beer, and they wanted to do a beet specialty dish, and they wanted to do a beer to go with it. So we did Beets by May. We dug around and found a farm to give us the beets, and yeah. So it helps us stay in the local community. It helps us push the envelope and have fun and try out new ingredients.
That's cool. That's cool. And I know, so you guys have been around for going on like 6 years? Now?
5.5 years now.
Okay.
5.5. Yeah.
Very cool. When did you guys start distributing out and about, and like when did you? I kind of want to, jump back to that. But when did you guys start distributing? Was that like right away, or was there...
Pretty much right, yeah.
I think it was more just shore traffic in the beginning. I know they did distribute a keg to some of the local area, because especially in the summer, you get real busy. They started out on a little 15-gallon keggle system for all the shore traffic, which was insane. And then shortly after that, they upgraded to a 15-barrel system. So I don't know exactly. Do you know exactly?
There was a 3-barrel system between the 15-gallon and the 15-barrel. But they got the 3-barrel system within 6 months. Was when we got the 3-barrel system, and within a year and a half, we were at 15 barrels. So almost right away, we were distributing all over Cape May County, Atlantic County, up into Cumberland, and definitely over into Camden. We've been in Philadelphia for maybe about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned an interesting fact when we were doing our mandatory tour, because we're in New Jersey, that you brew each brew day now. You make more beer than you sold in your first year.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up too.
Yeah. So our first year, we sold maybe 45, 50 barrels of beer, and we got a 30-barrel system now. We do 2 brews a day every time we brew. So each day we brew more beer than we sold our entire first year. We'll do 60 barrels a day, and our first year we only did like 45, maybe 50 barrels.
And there's also this big board that we have in the brewery right above our schedule, and it's just like one of those like charts for like yearly like production, what we've outputted, and it's just fun to you're looking at like 2011, it's like up, down, and you get to now, and it's just like whoop,
through the roof.
Yeah, we've at least doubled our production every year since we've opened. So
what will be your total for 2016?
We're looking at maybe just shy of 7,000 barrels, maybe about 7. Yeah. So right around 7,000, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I haven't seen the numbers since late November, and December was a good month for us, so it's going to be right around 7,000 barrels.
But your brew house is capable of what, twice that?
Oh yeah. That brew house, we're going to get some more fermenters in. That 30-barrel brew house, we barely scratched the surface of that. I've estimated that we could pump out at least 15,000 barrels a year on that sucker. Wow. So yeah.
So just growing from here.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up that speaks a lot, the increasing distribution to the expansion you guys have here. So going from that smaller system to what you have over there, and then having the other production building not too far away.
It's about 100 yards
football
away.
Field away, right?
Football field away.
Touchdown beer.
So like the quick rapid expansion for that, what's on the horizon then for next year?
Oh man, so we're getting in some new tanks for next year, some more fermenters, so to allow us to get more space. We're also we just pulled the trigger and put a down payment on a centrifuge, which I am super excited about. So that will allow us to process the beer faster and get a little bit more consistency, especially in the haze of it as well, and some extra hop aroma too. Yeah. You start running all those dry hops through the centrifuge, and it squeezes out every last little bit of oil out of the hops. So you get a little bit extra hop intensity into there. We're looking to expand our distribution into the north a little bit more, get a little bit more into Monmouth County and further up into there, getting closer and closer to the city and all that jazz. We're possibly going to be expanding our laboratory this year as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked. Our laboratory right now is basically just a table on the side of the brewery, but there's some fancy
Still a
equipment
pretty
there.
nice labo.
Yeah. It's like this table just shoved against the wall, but there's maybe about $30,000 worth of equipment on it. So we're going to knock down a wall and install maybe 100, 200 square foot laboratory and put it all in there. We're going to hire a lab technician. The posting will be going up later on next week if you're interested. Anybody with microbiology background out there? So yeah, and we're really excited. We are.
We're
This
also
summer
expanding go ahead, sorry.
this summer. No, sorry. Damn it, Mark. This summer we're anticipating. Last summer for the first half we were doing maybe one bottling run a week. Towards the end of summer, we upped that to about 2 bottling runs a week. We're still now, even in the winter, and it's a short town, so it's slower moving. We're still at 2 bottling runs a week. Next summer, we anticipate being at about 3, maybe even 4 bottling runs a week for next summer. So we're really going to be pushing out a lot more of the packaged beer. So and with the centrifuge in, it'll really help out with that.
Do you think you're going to stick to the same beers you're bottling now?
Yeah, we'll be sticking with those same beers. Yeah, of course. We'll be sticking with those. There might be 1 or 2 more added on. If anybody out
Was
there
that your Ryan impression right there?
No, that was there was we had a new summer seasonal out this year called Summer Catch. It's a Belgian wit inspired, with a little American twist on it. Nice dry hopping. We'll definitely be bottling that one this year. So that'll be the first time we're doing that one. So
which ones do you bottle now? I guess.
Cape May IPA. That's our flagship. Coastal Evacuation. Devil's Reach. Coastal Evacuation is our double IPA. We'll be tasting that later. Devil's Reach is Belgian Golden Ale. We also do Honey Porter, which is a nice 5.5% porter made with New Jersey honey.
King Porter Stomp.
Yeah, King Porter Stomp is a winter seasonal. Yep. What else?
Apple Bomb occasionally.
That's right.
Whoa. What?
Occasionally.
Apple
It's a 8% wheat ale with apples.
Nice.
Yeah, like apple
Which is on
puree
tap.
thrown straight in there.
We also do a specialty release of that, which, sorry, it was Thanksgiving. It already kicked.
Oh, no.
It's Apple Bomb with malt water spices, so it's apple pie.
Oh, nice.
And it is phenomenal. It is
It was.
amazing.
It was very good.
Amazing.
There it is.
There it is. Wait for
I
it.
guess, yeah, Jimmy, you
There
never
it
would have heard
goes.
these before, have you?
No, I've heard a few of them.
Oh,
Listeners.
all right, all
I've
right.
listened to you guys.
Just
Yeah. Long
do all
time
of
listener, first time caller.
So, Mark, I think you were going to start talking about this, but the tap room is located in the original facility with the original brew house, and you guys are in the process or turning that into a solely sour beer.
It is.
It is now,
Yeah.
actually. Basically, just things that are new, we're ramping that up. We're trying to have a new release over there every month, whether it's a Brett beer or something kettle soured or something from our barrel aged lineup. So we have the Barrel Age Reserve series, which right now we just have the Keel, the Skeg, and the Scupper, which have been released, as well as the Boughs of Barley. We're looking at the next one is Top Sale, which I think is about February time frame.
Yeah,
And,
late January, early February, somewhere in there.
But those fermenters, the 15 barrels, which are left from the old brew house, we just have fun with Brett over there. We'll do like kettle sour,
with
put
Brett.
it in the barrels. There's barrels everywhere. And that's basically our head brewer, Brian Hink. It's his little playhouse. We've got a lot of things cooking over there, and it's really cool. It's cool to have that. We already have experimentation, but then that experimentation with the wild side of things, which is cool to see, especially in New Jersey. I mean, you see it a lot in other states, and there's not a lot of that in New Jersey yet.
So how long have you been doing the barrel aging thing?
About a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
So you're just getting into the...
Yeah. So
It's ready now.
Yeah, our first barrel aged release beer, the Keel, came out in late spring. That got a 94 on Beer Connoisseur.
Ooh.
So it came out the door swinging. And we've had 2 releases since then, and then also the Boughs of Barley. We already have all of 2017 releases in barrels ready to go, scheduled, lined up. We know when we're going to come out with them. And then we're already designing for 2018 now as well. Yeah, so we've just started to see the fruits of our labors of that barrel series, and they're awesome. It's a lot of fun.
So
Yeah.
what is coming out soon?
So we have the top sale, which is a Belgian golden. It's Devil's Reach. It was the base beer, Belgian golden ale. That was then aged in California red wine barrels with some Brett. A nice mixture of Brett. Maybe I think about 10 or 15 different strains, and a little bit of lacto and pedio thrown in as well. And that'll be bottle re-fermented. All of the barrel aged series are all bottle conditioned, bottle re-fermented beers. So we got that one coming out. We have another one that I'm really excited about is currently aging in barrels with each barrel has about 20 pounds of raspberries and 10 pounds of cranberries. So that'll be a nice little mixture of that. So that I think is slated for some time in the fall. We've got a Flanders Red kicking around in there, floating around. We got a few other ones, tricks up our sleeves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have to say, something that surprised me the most when I was researching Cape May Brewing Company, Cape May Brewing Company, because your website is capemaybrewery.com. But anyway, your tap room, despite being in a beach town, I'm using air quotes, is open every day except Christmas.
Yeah, every day except for Christmas Day.
In my mind, I would think, it's a beach town, it's probably
more
pretty
so
dead.
summer,
But as you said, it's a Friday afternoon, and there's pretty many people here already, and we're recording
it'll
at
get a
noontime.
lot busier. I mean, the hours will shrink in the wintertime, but it's every day except for I think Christmas Day.
When it gets cold. I mean, that makes sense.
Stop it.
Or when it's hot.
And on your website, it said that you're
kind of mild.
This tap room is the largest and most accessible in the state.
Really? Wow. I didn't even know that.
Cool.
That's news to me. Learn something every day.
I was like, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. It is a decent sized tap room. When I came down here for my interview, I was actually surprised. A small little beach town that had this big tap room.
Now wait, did you interview in the interrogation room? That probably wasn't there when you interviewed.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be one of those two-sided mirror things, though, so people can stand in the brewery and just stare in, and the people in the anyway. Sorry, the interrogation room's pretty cool.
It's nice. Cape May has done a really good job at keeping people, not just us, but the town itself, at getting people down here all year round. But we're now one of the largest, we think the third largest craft brewery in New Jersey. So we get people coming down all over. I mean, how far do you guys travel to come down here?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
There you go.
And that's with no traffic through Philly. No traffic.
Goodness. So, but people come from all over. We've got a good reputation. We make great beer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna be too humble. We make awesome beer, and people are coming from all over to try it out. So
but why is that? What makes Cape May Brewing different? Is that what attracts people here? Is because of great beer? Do you think?
And cool T-shirts.
And cool that's
T-shirts.
true. The branding is pretty amazing.
I think it's the variety is one big thing. We got something for everybody up there. Like you said, there's 21 different beers. We even have a Bohemian style Pilsner. We started doing that in the spring, and so people come in and I don't really like beer. Or I drink Bud Light. What do you have? They're just like, hey, try this. It's just like that, but way better. So try that out, and people dig it. There's something up there for everybody. Pushing the envelope with the barrel aged series and the sours and everything. It's a fun atmosphere, I think, as well. People come down here and they know that they're going to be having a really good time. For me, I'm not saying this all the other breweries in New Jersey are bad, but we really focus on quality and consistency, and not just the beer is good, but it is high quality beer that you can really rely on. You know that you're going to get a good bottle when you open it up. I come from this is actually the smallest brewery I've ever worked at, so I come from places where quality management and consistency is really, really important. I try and instill that down here. I'm really all about actual quality ingredients, proper procedures, things like that. So we're not just throwing it together. So I think that's a big part of it.
There's definitely something to be said for that. So let me on that note, a hot topic that we've gone through before. If you have a batch and something goes wrong, you dump it, I'm assuming, right?
Well, we've rarely ever dumped a batch.
Right.
There are things that you can do. There are some things that you can do to help save a batch, to help salvage it and everything. We've actually got I'll admit there's a batch of beer in there right now that didn't go quite as planned, and we figured out what we're going to do with it. It's not going to be what we originally planned it to be as, but we're turning it around and we're going to release it as something.
And then you have a
very
happy
nice
accident.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. It was a happy accident. I always tell the guys, like a lot of times you get brewery tours that say, oh, there's 2 parts to brewing. There's the hot side, the brew house, and then there's the cold side over in the cellar. There's 3 parts. There's also packaging. And a lot of people forget about packaging, and that's usually at the entry place where, when you start off at a brewery, you're a keg monkey, and you're slinging kegs, and
it really is one of the most important ones.
Yeah. It is.
It can completely ruin all the work that you had before.
And that's the only point where if you do screw it up, there's nothing you can do about it. So if Mark or Andrew or Brian mess up in the brew house, I got maybe a dozen ways that I can fix that. No, never Mark.
Mark or Mark.
No, never Mark. Yeah. So
not amazing.
Got like a dozen ways I can fix that beer.
Aww.
If they mess up in the cellar, there's maybe like 2 or 3 ways that I can fix it.
Right.
But if you screw up in packaging, that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. So it's actually, I think, like the most important part of a brewery. Yeah. Really focus on it. So things like that, looking at it that way. Everybody wants to be a brewer. Everybody wants to be, at the work kettle, adding the hops and all that. It's sexy. It's, people like that. But it is. It's the sexy part. Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't stroke your beer over the kettle.
Grain
don't
out, you get that nice facial.
Yeah.
You weren't you removing the grains this morning? You have that nice glow about you.
Yeah.
He always
It
gets
can be
that
sexy.
glow
It can be sexy.
removing grains. He loves that.
I'm really wondering between all the times I've been in here, what the listeners actually think of me. All the crazy things that have happened.
There's some police profile artist who's got some weird bizarre picture of you hanging up. Who is this man? Yeah, but having good cellarmen and good packaging crew is equally, if not more important, than up in the brew house. So
which Eddie and Mike over there do a really good job.
Good job, Eddie and Mike. They kill it.
Oh yeah, best packaging team in New Jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, we really do. We have an amazing team. I know it's just me and Mark here right now. There's a few other guys over there who are still working. Those lucky bastards. But it's a great team, and having a good team that works together and jives and is there to do quality work every day, no matter what, is really what makes it. Yeah. I can design the best recipe ever, but if they're not into it,
Sorry,
then,
it's not your beer; it's our beer.
It's our beer, exactly.
So I have to point out, we're actually right across the street from the Cape May Airport.
Yeah.
So when people think Cape May, they think like right by the beach and by the ocean. But you guys are here. Is this technically Rio Grande or Rio Grande? We're very close to that area.
The address for the tasting room is Rio Grande, but a football field away where the brewery is, the address is Cape May.
That's so funny.
So there's this small road between us, and that road is the border between Cape May and Rio Grande. So
nice.
We hear Oprah flies in here.
Yeah,
so every time we see a jet, we're like,
really?
Hey, Oprah.
Yeah. Oprah's got a house down here, so she's flying in, on the runway right behind the tasting room.
You need to do a collaboration beer. Invite her in, right? That would be fun.
Oh my God!
We'll call
There'll be lines all the way up to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the Big O.
The Big O. That's like a triple on top.
Yeah,
the Big O. Oh,
wait, I didn't think of that. No offense. I don't mean to make fun of Oprah or anything. She's a wonderful woman. But
she's welcome to the tap room.
Well,
I was thinking.
Oh, there she is.
Well, I was going with her persona is large.
Oh yes, very true. Yes,
Oh
that's
my
a good
God,
point.
you
You
guys.
have a better mind than I do. Sorry.
So yes, the airport is right over there.
So, yeah.
And surprisingly,
Different pilots come in here. I shouldn't.
I'm trying to redirect this conversation.
Yeah,
to
do
things
it.
out. Surprisingly, you guys opened in 2011, but you were the first brewery in Cape May County and the first microbrewery at the Jersey Shore.
Yes.
And that surprises me because that was only 5.5 years ago.
Yeah, and it's Cape May County's exploded now as well. There's now 5 breweries in Cape May County and a 6th one opening up early next year.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
yeah, it's gotten to the point now where they're doing brewery tours, like on a bus. Come get on the bus and we'll take you around to all the different brewery tours. Yeah. So that started happening late this summer for the first time.
Felt like kind of squeezed a little bit with all this new, or do you find that? I mean, a lot of times in the brewery community, more breweries opening doesn't necessarily take much away because everybody's going to still stop at every one.
Yeah.
I think it very much is that because of like the brewery tours and a lot of like the tourism or touristic style nature of like our customers.
Right.
They're not going to go to one brewery anymore. It's always going to be like, oh, let's stop it here in Ludlam and 7 Mile and this and that.
Right.
Like
So-
they're going to want to explore whether it's the town, the brewery, or the food.
Right.
So they'll come to Cape May, but then they'll be like, let's see what else is in town. Oh, look at this restaurant. Look at this other brewery. So
So rather than competition, it actually probably brings more people.
I think
now
it welcomes people. It
There's
helps.
people like Steph who go visit every brewery.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In every
Check
state.
your Untapped.
I don't. I only went to 4 breweries when I was in Richmond on Tuesday.
4,000.
No,
Yeah, right.
I just went to 4.
Well, so if Cape May has all these breweries popping up, are you allowed to have beer on the beach?
No.
Okay, that's a shame.
Technically. No.
Well, I'll give you some hints and secrets when we
Starbucks
pause.
cup.
Well, actually, that's yes.
Off air.
Not that I've done that before or anything.
I've never done it in Jersey. Don't come and get me.
No, I've done it in other places.
I've done it in other places.
I think we all have. So if you do you find if it's in the summer and people do this, do you think they would I'm trying to think how I would map out a Cape May brewery tour for myself. Do you think the beach is included? Because I'd like to go to the beach from tipsy.
I think it
kind of
has to be.
Yeah,
It's
like
so
you're in Cape
close.
May and it's in the summer. You can't not. So
No.
I think what I would do, and this is just me, go to how many are there in here now? 5, you said? 6 on the horizon?
5 or 6.
I think there's 5 because there's us, there's Slack Tide, there's 7 Mile, it's Ludlam, and Tuckahoe, Cape May County, or is that Atlanta?
Now they're in
They're
Egg
in
Harbor.
Atlanta. Oh yeah. So that's Atlantic County now. So us, 7
Cold
Mile,
Spring.
Cold Spring, Slack Tide, Ludlam. So there's 5, and a 6th one on the way is opening up over in Wildwood.
So you could do 3 in the morning beach and then 3 at night.
Yeah. You can
And
do
then
that.
back to the beach.
And then
And
and then
Or-
back to the beach to
then
pass.
hang
out.
out with
you
Oprah.
you could bookend it at Cape May, start and end.
Yeah.
Cape May Brewing Company, of course.
Or
'Cause we're in
Or you
Cape
could
May.
or you could just come and just spend the whole day here.
Well, I mean, if you fly in like Oprah does,
Yeah.
you start and end at the airport.
And boy, are your wings tired.
Well, and there's plenty to do here. They even have the boardwalk-esque personal
I was
tour.
hoping nobody caught that.
That was terrible.
Not only was it a terrible joke, you said it wrong. It's like a screen door on a battleship. Make like a tree and get out of here.
All right, Biff.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Well, okay, so if you have
we
all
haven't even
these-
had any beer yet.
I know. I think that needs to change. We can keep talking later. We need to.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's time to
fine. I get there
crack
are
open.
4 growlers on the table, so we
And
may
a
as
couple
well.
bottles.
And a couple bottles. We can't forget those bottles.
Yeah.
It smells like betrayal.
You guys cue that one up? Yeah.
It just I happened to be on the right page on the soundboard. It worked out.
Oh, that's the spellbound one.
Oh man.
Oh my!
So okay, so I'll start off with this question: what are we passing around now?
We are currently passing around Coastal Evacuation.
Ooh, this is the one you brought in bottles for us.
Yeah. So
Thank
okay.
you.
So you guys have had this
Oh
before.
well, I don't think Steph took any of it
Oh.
because that was her. I want to watch calories, like the beginning of all of that. So Wayne and I, oh darn, had all the beer.
Yeah.
All right.
But I did really enjoy it. I have to be in the mood typically for a double IPA, but this is one that I could see myself going to a lot.
This is this is one of my favorites because it's a double IPA, but it is still really nicely balanced.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not. I mean, we just upped the hops, but a little bit the dry hopping on it, but it's still got that nice balance to it. We also the bittering hops are a first wort addition, so it's not astringent and in your
Right,
face.
right.
Yeah, and it's a nice blend of hops. They're not crazy. I mean, I love the crazy new kinds of hops coming out there. But this one is Centennial, Apollo, and Simcoe.
Just smell it.
Keep it nice and simple.
Yeah,
got
and they're workhorse hops, not something people would see on a list and be like, oh my god, but it's a very well designed beer.
Yeah.
And right when I was hired, they actually modified the recipe a little bit to have that softer bitterness.
Yeah.
Up the dry hop, added more to late additions, and it's come out phenomenal.
Yeah, it doesn't
Anytime people are like, what's Cape May? I hand them this beer because it's so good.
It doesn't have the punchy in the throat bitterness out of it that most double IPAs do. It has a really nice sweetness to it. I really like that.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the Centennial and a bit of the Apollo hops as well. Apollo hops don't get used for dry hopping that much. I think they're really nice. They lend just that nice, a nice hoppiness with a little bit of grass and and
a little underlying dankness to it.
Yeah,
Anytime I open that bag, it's like, that's good.
I love
it's
me
good
a touch
stuff.
of dank.
It's only 8% as well, so it's not a 9.5%. We do something like that as well, but not this one. So it's good. I was really, really happy because when I came down here to interview, I've only been down here for about a year now. When I came down here to interview, I actually came early and came to the tasting room, and the way I put it is I interviewed them first. So I had a flight,
That's
was
a
trying
sign
all
of a
different
good
beers,
interview.
didn't tell them who I was. I'm gonna try out these guys' beers first and see if this is worth my time. And it was. It totally was. And this one really blew me away. I was like, I don't want a super astringent IPA or something that's all about the hops and nothing else there, no backbone to it. And I was like, this is great.
Strip the enamel off your teeth or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Nothing like that.
it doesn't have that thick sweetness at the end. I
it's
like it.
crisp
Like
and clean.
it still has body and there's malt there, but it finishes
Yeah,
nice
it's a
and dry
pretty
and clean.
pretty bare bones malt bill, but it's got a nice support to the massive hopping that we do.
Yeah, we let the gravity finish a little bit higher, so it's still got a little bit of nice maltiness to it. Yeah, a little bit of body, but it's nice and crisp. It's not viscous or anything like that.
Selfie.
Sorry, I realized like it's perfect with the
I'm
deck
damn
behind me and
drinking
everything.
that beer.
Oh,
Nice
Dan.
backlight going
Look at the
on.
trees.
You should
Yeah.
be taking a picture of him taking a
Oh,
selfie.
is that a bird?
Should, yeah.
So this one started out. We called it CIPA. It was Centennial IPA. Originally, it was designed by one of the co-owners, Chris Hank. We just call him Hank. He designed it. It was all big on Centennial hops, all Centennial in the Whirlpool edition and the late hops, and then Centennial dry hopping. And we wanted to give it a little recently, maybe about 6 months ago. We gave it a little. We want to give it a little je ne sais quoi. We changed up how we do our dry hopping, and we also added some more hops. We put in the Simcoe into it, and we moved some of the Apollo from the late hopping into the dry hopping as well. So the aroma of those comes out a little bit more too. So this one's evolved a little bit over the years, even recently, but it's still very true to brand and just stands the test of time. And I love it. I really do. It's usually like on a Friday. This is the 6-pack I'm taking home.
And
How long-
even though it's so hop forward and so flavorful, it would pair well with food too. I could imagine having a good veggie burger, some fries.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Take
together.
out one word from
good
that.
real burger.
Thank
burger.
you. See, this, you and I are going to get along. I like this.
Whatever your burger of choice.
That's right. It would work.
Or soon to be taco of choice.
Oh, I know there's going to be a taco place next door.
That's pretty cool.
Because we can't sell food in New Jersey at brewery tasting rooms, but we got a taco shop opening next door. And yeah,
That's
this will
pretty cool.
be really
That'll
really
be
good.
awesome.
Have a coastal evacuation with a nice shore fish taco.
A little bit
That'll
of
be great.
Yeah, well,
especially
that's
there's like a subtle would note to this. A little
Yeah.
bit of cilantro.
Would you say it's
fish
a
taco.
subtle hint
A
of lemon?
subtle hint of lemon. I'm curious. can you bring in
You can
outside
bring
food?
you can bring in
Okay.
outside food. There's a couple pizza joints that are delivering here all the time. That's cool.
Okay, that's cool.
We just can't sell it.
Right.
We can have food trucks, but we can't make an agreement with them.
Right,
We can't
so they
even,
can, like,
we
be
can't
here.
advertise
And
it.
I don't think we can advertise
Like
that
they
we
can't
have any
advertise
either.
that we
Come
have
on,
here.
New Jersey.
Affiliated.
Seriously.
Well,
We're
I
working
mean,
on it. We're working. We're trying.
Anybody out there from New Jersey, please contact your local state senator and assembly
sure.
person and let them know how you feel about these restrictions that are putting it on us.
New Jersey. At least it's not Utah.
Well, look, if Pennsylvania can update their laws, any state can.
Yeah,
update their
yeah.
laws.
Hey, 6-packs in Pennsylvania.
No.
Welcome to the 20th century. Yeah.
Cheers to
Way
that.
to go.
I can finally buy beer and wine together in some
Yeah.
grocery stores.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah. See, we've already had that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I miss
yeah.
Total Wine so much. You have no idea.
It's a different
Oh,
state.
you have no idea.
Well, not to go on a tangent, but I think the craft beer industry has, the growth of the craft beer industry has pushed forward reform and liquor laws in a lot of places.
Definitely.
Because it's become more and more popular, and people are
Right.
like, this is a boon to the economy. Don't put roadblocks in our way.
Yes, exactly. New Jersey is a perfect example of that, actually. In 2015, the number of breweries in New Jersey doubled. And now there are more breweries than wineries in New Jersey. The Garden State Craft Brewers Guild, which Ryan, whenever he comes and joins us, he's the current president of the Garden State Craft Brewers
Oh,
Guild.
cool.
We have a lobbyist on our account that is lobbying on behalf of craft breweries here in New Jersey and trying to change some of these laws and help us so that it's easier for us to grow our business and get some of this red tape and everything out of the way, restrictions. We've had meetings with the lieutenant governor, meetings with the TTB, and all sorts of stuff. It's great. It's a good organization, really trying to help people out.
Very nice.
You took the lid off. Which one is this?
KPS.
Oh my goodness! All right, yeah.
So, what is KPS?
KPS stands for King Porter Stomp.
It smells delicious.
It's an
Super
imperial
chocolatey.
imperial porter, imperial chocolate porter.
Yay.
Sitting about
Those
8%.
Those are three of my
7.4.
favorite words when they're together.
And it was originally made for the
my
Exit
God.
Zero Jazz Festival, which we just had in Cape May. This year it featured the Wynton Marsalis Jazz Quartet.
Oh, that was an
I saw
amazing
Wynton
show.
Marsalis once. Oh,
and
this
it's
is so good.
it's a big jazz festival down here every
It's
year.
awesome. It was mandatory for a class that I took. It was like, oh darn, I have to go see one of the best jazz musicians ever.
Because we're Cape May Brewing is one of the sponsors. We were sitting and watching them from backstage.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Well, you see, the sound isn't always the best from backstage.
And then Oprah showed up.
That's true. And then,
Then Oprah showed up.
yeah. So
Sorry,
this,
Oprah.
King
Just
Porter
start
Stomp
ending
is-
every story with, and then Oprah.
And then Oprah showed up.
So yeah, I think I really like this one because it's all about that balance. It's a chocolate porter, but it's not like
Whoa.
oh,
There's a bell.
that bell means it's tour time.
Tour time.
Tour time.
We already had ours though.
Yeah, we did. It was a private tour.
Hey.
This beer is phenomenal, and we also have it on tap on nitro. It tastes like a chocolate
Yeah,
milkshake.
the nitro is like a chocolate milkshake.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to try that.
Yeah, the regular version though, that nice whiff of chocolate on the nose, and especially really comes through on the finish, but blends so nicely with the roasted character and a little bit of the chocolate already in the chocolate malt, which is a little bit more of a bitter chocolate, and then we actually add chocolate to it. So there's a nice hint. There's a little bitter chocolate from the chocolate malt, and then a little bit of a sweeter chocolate from the actual chocolate that goes
What
in.
form is the actual chocolate that you add?
It's a syrup.
It's a syrup.
It's a chocolate syrup.
And do you
yeah.
add it? At what point of the process do
We
you
add it at the very end.
That's why it's so prominent.
It's so prominent. It's
Yeah.
not fermented out. It's added when it's crashed and cooled already, and a couple days before we transfer it into the bright tank.
And we also recirculate it in the tank. So it's not just, throw it in and drop
It's not
to the
just dumped
bottom.
in. No. Turn that tank over a couple of times and really get it mixed in there nicely. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, this one was super chocolatey, and then I got it again, and there was no chocolate at all. Like, yeah, you're not going to get that.
And I really like this because it's got a nice bitterness between the roasted malt and the hops.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not one doesn't stick out from the other. It's just got a really nice balance from that.
Yeah, what balance is perfect for this?
Yeah.
Because you get the sweetness from the chocolate, you get the bitterness,
I imagine
so
like
good.
a tiramisu would go phenomenal with this.
I think we should get JP to make a tiramisu with
Oh,
us.
Right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now, where is he?
Where are you?
Go get him.
JP, I don't
Go
care what
get
you're
him.
doing right now. Whatever it is, it's not as important as my tiramisu.
And bring tacos.
Yes,
Tacos?
please.
Tacos and tiramisu.
Your taco of choice.
Taco
You know,
misu.
That, I don't
All right,
see
hold
that,
on.
but
I haven't
want
had
that.
lunch yet. You guys got to stop this.
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese sizzly, and that was it.
I had a mixed
From
fruit
Wawa,
From
of
Wawa.
course.
Yeah.
For you Pennsylvania people, that is a bagel sandwich.
Oh, no, I had the croissant.
Once again, this episode brought to you by Wawa.
Brought to you by food. My pancakes
Send
were
gift
from
cards, please.
What was
Yes,
it
please
called?
do.
Courthouse Diner.
Oh yeah, that place. Yeah, up in Cape May Courthouse.
Yes.
Yeah, that place is good.
That's
a
where we
good
went.
place. Yep.
Super
Yep.
cheap. The three of us for breakfast, $20.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and
And
well
we all
worth
left
it.
full.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good food. Yeah.
So if you're on the way down and you need to fill your tummy before drinking,
Go to Wawa.
There's plenty. There's plenty of good places down here. That's the one thing that I'm really, really happy that Cape May has a lot of really good food. The seafood, of course, is
Well,
phenomenal.
yeah, I mean, the sea is right there.
yeah, it's right there.
Oh, yeah, big wave burrito, mad batter.
See, I don't even like seafood that
Washington
much, and I
Inn.
would totally try a fish taco
Yeah.
down here.
No, it's great stuff. The Iron Pier has amazing food. There's a lot of good places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's
you need
just,
to retell us all of this
well,
when we're done recording.
Yeah.
When we
So
need
I
to
don't want to go into too much. It's like, why didn't you talk about us? You talked about
Oh,
this
yeah,
other
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But
We
I
don't
mean, there's
wanna-
so much.
Well,
it's all so good.
So
Yeah.
if you have all of these really good restaurants down here, have you ever done a beer dinner anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, totally. I recently did one actually at the ferry. Like, that's how much food is important
The
down here.
ferry.
The ferry terminal, the Cape May Lewis Ferry, does a beer dinner every month with a local brewery.
Oh, Ferry.
Yes, Ferry.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cape May Lewis Ferry. It's a boat. The boat ferry.
Does
What
not
were you
have wings.
thinking?
And-
Context, Dan. Context.
Hey, the ferry's wings are tired.
Yeah. So they have a house chef there, and we talked about what he picked what beers he wanted to do, and designed the entire meal, the 5-course meal. Each paired each meal, each dish.
Yeah.
With paired each dish with the beer of choice.
You get
and everything
5
like that.
meals.
You get 5 meals.
I would do it.
You were
deal.
also at one, weren't you in Atlantic City, Gordon Ramsay's place? We also had a beer dinner there, too.
Yeah, we did a beer dinner
With
at Gordon
Dogfish.
Ramsay. Yep, with us and Dogfish Head at
Whoa.
Gordon Ramsay's
Oh,
restaurant
that's
in
awesome.
AC. Yep, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, and we're trying to push it. We have our own house chef. If we could sell food here at the tasting room, we would do some more. But
One
one of
day.
the worst of talking to local restaurants and have their chef and our chef collaborate.
Oh,
on a
that's
dinner
cool.
and things like these are ideas that we really want to do.
So
Yeah.
if you can't sell food here, but you have a chef, is the chef? I know you do the soda macchiato is on right now. Is that just to do cool infusions like that and see what would work, or
It's
what
also
else?
for the DDs and the non-alcoholic crowd, even the kids that may come in. It's cool to just have something different. you've been at other breweries and it's like, oh, do you have anything for somebody that's my DD?
Right,
it's
right.
like, oh, here's this craft soda. Like,
I guess
it's
for
something
what
nice.
for what JP does for you guys, is it only the soda stuff if you can't serve food, or does he come up with cool concoctions for other things?
He does come up with cool concoctions. A couple of times on our blog, we've had him for Christmas. For Thanksgiving. We I think for Christmas as well, actually. We did a blog post where he took a few of our beers and is like, either these are good pairings to do or ways that you can cook with our beer. So we might not actually be able to do it in-house, but he'll experiment with it at home on his own and then come in and be like, yeah, I brewed up, I had a nice roasted steak and I did a marinade with the keel and things like that. And here's the recipe.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he does do a little bit. We're not actually able to do it in-house at the moment, but he's doing it at home, and we're letting the world know that these concoctions are available.
What
you need
is-
to need to do a cookbook.
Yeah,
a Cape May
that's a
Brewing
good
Company
idea.
cookbook.
Yeah.
He's made a balsamic vinegar with our sour brown ale.
Now,
the keel,
can you
my
package
God.
that and sell that here?
Yeah. We've kicked around the idea of packaging
That
up
would
our
be
balsamic
cool.
vinegar and
That's
selling
good.
it.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many
What
opportunities there.
if he had like a food truck
That was
funny
not
thing is,
advertised.
He brings
Yeah,
that
no,
up maybe
unadvertised.
He
once.
has a
month.
food truck that he does in his spare time, but it's something with the legality we can't.
Right.
He can't sell here because he still works here.
Oh.
But in his spare time,
Well, what
ironically
if,
enough,
like,
he does.
set up a
run
shell
food
company,
truck.
have a silent partner,
If
and
he
you'll be
parks
fine.
it like across the street, so he's like technically not.
We don't
on
know
the
him.
in the airport
And he
parking lot
doesn't
on the
physically
tarmac.
work
He'll
in
just
the
park
truck.
it on the
Oh,
runway.
that little
Yeah,
guy,
park it
don't
on
worry
the
about that
runway.
little guy.
I don't
with
know
flags
about
that say "Welcome Oprah."
Welcome, Oprah.
And we're back to Oprah.
Everything
But
goes back
you
to
set up your
Oprah.
food truck, but if anybody asks, we don't know you.
We don't know you.
You're not on the.
I'd be interested in trying that. I have a little more spare time now, thank God. So, like, cooking something like that, I would love to do. I think a cookbook, or at least having the recipes online, like I already do.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
such a cool idea.
It's
Cookbooks are in
definitely-
right now.
They are very.
so
We had
in right now.
we had John
They're so in
Hall
right
down
now.
here a couple of weeks ago. John Hall, who wrote the Great American Craft Beer Cookbook, he was down here signing books and everything. He's a great guy. He's a New Jersey native. He comes down here all the time. He knows all the great restaurants at Cape May. It is really good. I think people are realizing that because there's more variety of flavor in beer than there is in wine. Beer can pair better with food than wine can.
Yeah.
I'm not biased or anything, but I think it's true.
There's
There's more
Objectively
to
true,
beer,
yeah.
and you can do more with
You,
beer.
you can put more ingredients in
Right.
it just to begin with.
Right.
You know, it's not like you don't see a cab sauv with sage and rosemary
Cab
or
sauv.
like tangerine white wine.
Well, I mean, that's
Hey,
the thing with
a
with-
sangria maybe.
So with
Yeah,
wine, you only had basically grapes and yeast, right?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And I think
Yeah.
it has its place, but when you get into the kitchen, I just think beer is more versatile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely is. I
So,
mean,
if the state of New Jersey ever enters the 21st century and allows you to sell food, would you guys set up a kitchen?
That's a big way to phrase it from Pennsylvania.
Well, we have to keep this rivalry going.
And it's snowing outside.
Is it really?
Yeah, it
It
is.
is snowing outside.
Holy crap!
Welcome to the Jersey Shore in December, everybody.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, crap. It looks like it might start sticking, too.
That was not in the forecast.
Woo,
Anyway.
3-hour ride home.
All right, have fun. And if it's snowing down here, it's worse further north. Just so you know.
Yeah, but it's probably just
Is
like...
that how that works?
It's
probably
how
just
it works.
raining in
That's how it
Philly.
works.
Meteorologist
Anyway, yeah.
Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
if Oprah has her way.
That's why it's snowing, because she just landed.
There we go.
That's in her rider.
Ice Queen.
When I land, it must be snowing.
Is this Oprah? Or is this the queen from Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe?
Oh, my
No,
God.
it's Elsa.
So
Good old Tilda
I
Swinton.
saw a guy.
that's a
This
tough
can stay
question to get back to what you asked about.
Back on track.
If New Jersey legalized us to sell food, would we?
Yeah.
Us here, it's a tough decision. Us here at the Cape May Brewery, we're not sure. It's not 100% that we would, because it's such a restaurant-centric town, and they are our customers.
Yeah.
However,
makes sense.
we don't want. I firmly feel that New Jersey should, because not every town is like that, and not every brewery has that issue. So
Of course.
there are plenty of other breweries that should be allowed to sell food that don't have like all these restaurants around that are their customers.
But then you have to decide if you want casual fare or something a little more involved. Like, would you want quick, here's like a pork slider, or would you want, here is a steak marinated with such and such a beer and this and that?
Even when you go over to Pennsylvania, like they allow food over there, but sometimes it's just, even when you go up to like Hill Farmstead in Vermont, like sometimes they just offer a meat and cheese plate, something to kind of like get you going, or keep you absorb some of the alcohol and everything, and then you could go check out some of the local fare and
Right.
and
And
enjoy
there's
it.
nothing wrong with like sloppy pub food either. Like it can be done well.
I gotta ask, what did we pass around this time? Because this is amazing.
Oh,
yeah, no, this growler's staying down here.
Oh yes, this is the corrosion.
Corrosion.
Sour IPA.
It's-
So this is corrosion.
This is a kettle sour.
No, you're supposed to say it.
fine. I better get a nickel for this. Amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, so this is
think
corrosion.
Anybody got a nickel?
The only reason that sounded different than the soundboard clip is I think there's a little more reverb in the soundboard clip. Otherwise, that was exactly the same.
Pretty
And my
much.
voice is shot from karaoke.
You do, wait, what?
My friend's birthday.
Oh no.
I saw there was a
I
Facebook
totally want to
post, I
do
saw that,
karaoke
yeah.
with slimy sauce.
Oh my
So
goodness.
corrosion.
Yeah.
Corrosion is our kettle soured IPA. Definitely one of my favorites. It's a creation of our head brewer Brian Hink, who unfortunately is not here. And we kettle sour it, very cleanly kettle soured, and we also dry hop it with Citra. So it's got some really, really nice fruity notes to it. It's got a nice sourness, not abrasive, but it's got a good punch to it, and I freaking love this beer.
I do too. Yeah, this is one of my favorites as well. And oddly enough, like this is also one of the ones where a lot of people come down like, I don't really like beer. Like, what do you try? You know, it's either the Mooncusser Pilsner or maybe throw this one to them, and they're surprised. Like, oh my goodness, yeah, this is really. I've never had anything like this. This is really, really good because of that strong sour and tart notes to it. And and they haven't experienced that yet. And so this is another one that sometimes opens up people to craft beer that might not all otherwise be open to it already.
All right, Steph actually is passing this off to her wine drinking mom.
While dropping her phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is for the second time dropping your phone.
Yeah, we get the
Yeah,
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up.
There
All right.
it is. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun, doing the kettle sours. We're again very, very meticulous about the process to make sure that it's done right and everything. We louder it off into the kettle, and then we actually transfer it into the whirlpool and purge the kettle with CO2, and then seal it up and transfer the wort back in before we sour it. So it's an oxygen-free environment where the
Right.
lactic acid bacteria can really thrive and everything, so that it's done right, it's done properly. We're not just throwing tubs of yogurt in there and hoping for the best.
Can I just say
'cause when
I'm
you-
not getting my glass back, by the way.
Probably
I
not.
don't think you are.
She's
Yeah,
keeping my glass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because when you kettle sour, if there's any presence of oxygen, you get a lot of bad off flavors
Yeah.
if there's too much of it. So we're very, very pertinent about making sure everything's
Yeah.
the way it should be.
Right.
The morning after, we're not just checking the pH, but we'll check the total acidity as well, which is different from pH, and gives
Right.
you a better indication of how tart the beer is actually going to be, and narrowing that down and trying to get a specification for that. We don't quite have one yet, but we're getting a specification for total acidity going forward, so that the level of tartness, the level of sourness is always going to be the same. So this is where constantly improving, trying to constantly make the beer better and more consistent.
So I may have missed this in my side conversation here. Is this something you brew year round?
Yes.
Perfect.
It might not always be on the board year round, but usually it is. We try and make it as available as we possibly can.
If not this, guaranteed you'll find at least one kettle sour or like a Brett beer or something. Like
Yeah.
we always have at least one. We're trying, like I said, with the sour brewery, we're able to play with Brett because we have fermenters over here. So we're trying to at least have one release from this side per month. So you'll at least always see one thing, whether it's a kettle sour or like a Brett Pale Ale or something like that over here.
Yeah.
It's
This one's
delicious.
It is very. It's got a nice strong following. People like it. So yeah. We try and have this one out as much as can. Like Mark and I both. This is one of our favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I love it. I was drinking it yesterday. Yeah.
I know you're drinking it today.
And I'll probably be drinking it tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. Sour every day. Hashtag sour every day.
Hashtag sour.
Sour
every day.
life.
Getting
Sour for life. Sour
every day.
forever. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh yeah, happy
Happy
2017,
Yes.
everyone out there.
When you're listening to
Oh,
this,
that's
it will
right.
be a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
year.
When they're listening, it's going to be 20. Yeah.
It'll be 2017.
Happy New Year. Thank God 2016.
Screw it, I'm staying in the
is
past.
over.
It's
So, yeah,
2016.
I know, right? Well, if the world ends like tomorrow or the next day, well, tomorrow.
Then no one will
this-
ever hear
Or
this.
Tomorrow's
another
the last day of
celebrity
the-
dies.
That's actually my theory. Nobody said the rapture had to be all at once. Maybe all of
Is that what's
2016
happening?
was the rapture.
I
All
better
the
have
cool
good
people
beer
being
there.
taken up. That's what it was. 2016. Nobody said it had to be like 1 minute.
Right,
That's
right.
what it
True.
was. It
It
was
was
just spread
never
out over the
specified.
course of a year. Yeah.
The rest of us will all just vanish.
Yeah. We're
Well,
just stuck here
no,
drinking.
if you are not raptured, what happens is
Oh, here we go.
Oprah comes down from the heavens.
down.
takes you open
with her snow-clad plane.
Yes,
It's not snowing anymore.
and giant hornets. There are giant
I think we should play a game.
Sassy
That's
Hornets.
Wait, don't we have another beer?
sassy hornets.
We have a lot more.
Well, no, there's.
No, this for the next segment. That's all you're getting right now.
This was our third beer.
Oh, all right.
We got two more.
All right.
Yeah.
I was confused because there were 4 growls.
It's 2016.
Oh.
No, it's 2017 for those listening.
Well, I mean,
So
this is
confused.
easily an outtake.
Oprah is president.
Well, I'd rather that than.
I know, right?
yeah.
Doesn't seem so
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I think Steph's right. We probably should try to play some.
Yeah,
sort of
I wanna play a game.
So, Wayne, you got to
Mark's done this plenty of times. This is,
know,
I'm,
right?
I'm a,
I
I'm a-
love it. Jimmy
I wanna
is
play
the
a game.
best guest ever. He's
wanna
so
play a game.
I
excited.
want to play a game. I want to play a game. I want to play a game.
Love it.
It's like a little boy at Christmas.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
All
Exciting.
right.
It's a lot to live
High
up to.
expectations now.
I know,
yeah.
right? I can't
Sound
follow that.
happier.
Yeah.
Sound happier.
Sound happier.
Sound happier.
And sound fun.
I'm gonna like bomb it though. I'm gonna get every question wrong.
That was great, but I have one note. Sound happier. Cheers, Internet. And welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, a podcast trivia segment. Today we are playing Libation or Fabrication. Woohoo! And I'm trying to talk as little as possible. So you know how this game works.
Fireside chat with Wayne Baker.
We're going to start to my left with Steph
Ouch.
and tell me, is this beer real or fake? This is Birthday Suit.
Real.
Steph is saying that's real. Mark,
Real.
also real.
Do you want me to do this for you? I feel so bad for you right now.
It's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
It's all right. I need to work through this.
If Wayne's not talking, Joe Man won't listen.
It's like working out a muscle.
It's like, exactly.
Yeah. It won't get better if you don't. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Real or fake?
Birthday suit.
Birthday Suit.
I'm gonna say real.
Jimmy's saying
Yeah.
real, and finally Dan.
I'm going to say real as well. I feel like I might have had this before.
All right, everybody's saying real. Everybody is correct. It is, in fact, real. It has been brewed annually since 2012 by Uita Brewing to celebrate their birthday. Birthday Suit.
Not Unita, but Uinta.
Yes.
I like the way Wayne said that.
Uita. What was I saying? I don't even know.
They brew it every year to celebrate
I
their
don't even know
Uita
what's going on.
Brewing Company.
No, it's to celebrate their anniversary. The interesting thing is, though, it actually changes from year to year. It's not always the same beer, but it is
That's
always sour and funky. It began as a sour cherry ale, became a sour brown ale, then a sour farmhouse ale, and sour plum ale in 2015. I couldn't find what 2016's was, but they did do one in 2016. So, always a sour
We forgive you. It's all right.
beer. Hey, man, come on now.
Sour
Give me a break. I'm trying as hard as I can.
Are you saying sour life
I'm
or
actually
sour
surprised you couldn't
for
find
life?
it. It's like
Both.
Both. I wrote both because I wasn't sure what you were saying.
you'd think the internet would have that on there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm actually
You would
really
think.
surprised.
It's
that not on there.
probably somewhere on the internet, but I didn't see it.
He didn't
right,
search
all
that
right.
hard.
Somehow it's Oprah's fault.
It's been a long week, man. It's Oprah's fault.
Now it's Oprah's.
Everything's Oprah's fault. Moving on to our next beer of the game. And Mark is going to guess first on this one, and this is Sour Bikini.
Oh, absolutely real.
Absolutely.
You need to
real.
be
So
less
confident.
obvious.
I know, right?
You got to fool them.
Sound happier.
I'm gonna go with fake. That is
saying-
fake.
Jimmy saying that's fake.
Yeah.
All right, Dan.
Mark was so confident.
very confident.
I'm going to say real as well.
All right, Dan.
Yeah, but that's his hubris.
Oh, that could
That's
be
true.
true.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's Evil Twin, right? Real.
That's Mark nods.
He nods.
What kind of weird insider shady handshake
Oh,
shit
you
you
are
doing?
correct. It is
Of course,
a
and of course,
sour
I get the evil twin one
I
wrong.
was like, wait a minute. I thought you'd know that one.
from Evil Twin.
No, well, maybe when we're not on the record, I'll tell you
Yeah.
my story, my run-in with Yepa. So,
Oh.
Oh, interesting. Named after atom bomb test grounds designed by a French car engineer, the bikini was to many a disturbing and degrading creation, and fortunately others a symbol of emancipation. And it's a beer. I wrote more, but I'm not saying it because...
Can you... Pirates of the Caribbean is on right now.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
there's Jolly Roger up there. Nice. All right, moving on. Is this over yet? Oh, my God. This is so hard. All right. Jimmy's going to guess first.
This is sad, not so fun game.
I could be-
I know, right? It's pretty
All right.
bad.
Okay.
I'm really trying. The next beer is called a burning sensation.
That one's fake, but if it is real, that brewery should stop calling it that. All right. Who's going to go to a bar and like, I'd like a pint of a burning sensation,
Steph.
please?
I would.
Can you please get
I
me
totally
some a burning
would.
sensation?
Or cut out the pint. I'd like a burning sensation.
I'd like a burning sensation,
I bet the
please.
bartenders love that one.
I came
Or
here.
what are you drinking? I have a burning sensation.
I came down
I'm
here
sure you do.
to get a burning sensation. That's the whole reason why I'm
not
here.
leaving
I'm waiting
without-
online for a burning sensation.
I hope that's fake.
I have a pleasant warmth in my mouth. Dan.
I'm gonna say fake.
Dan is saying
No,
that
I'm saying
fake.
real. I hope it's real. Pleasant warmth in my
Oh,
mouth.
that didn't work out. I wanted to.
It seems fake, but just to be a contrarian, real.
All right, Steph and Mark saying real, and both of you are wrong
Yeah.
because it is.
Wait,
in
you
fact,
came up with things in your
fake.
mind, even though being
Yes.
sick.
I did.
I thought
Where-
they'd all
where do
be
you think
real.
Yes.
I'm wondering where you came up with a burning sensation. what was that? Well, there's a story.
I will-
There's
I
a
will-
story behind this.
I came up with the fake beers in today's game on the drive here.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay.
I'm
No,
not.
that's why you
I don't think it
ignored
was
me for an
that
hour
long
and
of a
half.
drive. It's not that long of a drive.
It's an hour and a half. Some may enjoy a burning sensation when consuming a beer. However, if the sensation persists when it comes out the other end, you may want to consult a doctor.
Get some cranberry
As a
juice.
side note, if you Google a burning sensation
Oh
beer,
no! Oh, beer. Okay.
some interesting because I
okay.
Googled it
All
to
right,
make
all
sure
right.
it wasn't already a real
Yeah.
beer.
All right.
Moving on to our penultimate beer of the game, and where are we? Dan is going to guess first on this one.
No. Yes.
no,
Yes.
No, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
No, I just did it, man.
We just did.
Did you go
guess-
first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the last
That would be
one.
me. That would be me. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
What?
So a burning sensation is not a real beer, but Tired Hands did an IPA called "Stare at Yourself in the Mirror Until You Feel a Burning Sensation."
Of course they did.
Loophole.
Of course,
Wow. Okay.
Of course. So we should get a half point.
Hey, all rulings are final. in
Yeah.
Quarter point.
All right. No, there's no quarter points.
I'll give you a high five. How about that?
I am the law.
I am the law.
Dan's going to guess first on this one, and this is called Nightmare on Brett.
I'm gonna say real.
Dan is saying that's real, Steph.
Real.
Real, Mark.
Really, it's real.
I'll say real.
Everybody's saying real. Everybody is correct.
All right.
It is, in fact, real. It's from Crooked Stave Artisan Beer Project in Denver. A dark sour ale aged in Leopold Brothers whiskey barrels. Moving on to our final beer of the game.
Thank God.
I know, right? I have one more because I wasn't sure if Ryan was going to be here.
That's why I thought you were going first.
So that's
Jimmy.
why we got back around to the top. So Steph,
It's all good. It's all good.
guess first on this one. This beer is called Foot Fungus.
That's fake.
Steph is saying
No
that
real
it's fake.
brewery would name a beer Foot Fungus.
Well, are you sure?
I mean, Rogue did that beer from
Beard beer.
like the beard
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was a vagina beer. Well,
There was.
there was. I
Yeah,
saw
there
that.
was a
Yeah,
Kickstarter for a vagina beer.
So, I mean,
No, it
Brett
has to
can
be
do
fake.
some funny things.
yeah, fun with Brett.
Good old Brett.
Welcome to
Fake.
Fun with Brett. All right,
Fake.
Mark is saying it's fake. Jimmy
I'm going to say fake.
also saying
Again, and if it's not, it should be. Don't name your beer Foot Fungus.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dan, final guess.
I'm gonna say fake because, a marketing standpoint, that's gonna be a fucking
Agreed.
nightmare.
That's
Or
true.
disagree.
I agree
That's
with that.
fake. That's fake.
You are all correct. It is in fact fake.
Thank
It
God.
is not real. However, it is also interesting if you Google.
Although, won't stare at your face in the mirror until you get Foot Fungus.
So
is
you're
real.
both- that's yes. Fun fact: if you Google foot fungus beer, you will find that apparently a dark beer soak is an effective treatment for foot fungus.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
so now I
And
got-
you can
so
buy
that- yeah.
beer soap here at Cape May Brewing.
Yes, you can.
Just saying.
It looks like
We have an interesting scoreboard today, ladies and gentlemen.
What the hell?
I know, with a perfect 100% 5 out of 5.
Whoa! Wait,
oh
what?
yeah.
Dan
Holy shice.
not only won, but Dan had a perfect score.
Wow!
Wait, but
and he's not even aware of it. He's like, whatever.
So
we
I got
still
a
have
purpose.
a
What happened?
we do.
I wasn't even paying attention.
But wait. But we also have a German sparkle party, which is cool.
Oprah is with me.
However,
Oprah's
I
with
think
me.
it's more monumental. I think Oprah is going to land, and the world is going to end tomorrow.
because Dan got a perfect score.
This is what has happened. Dan is a perfect score.
I hope not.
And everybody else is tied in second place with 4 points apiece, which is a German Sparkle
Right.
Play it.
Pod. Go Patreon.com/beerbusters. I'm done talking.
All right. So Joe Man stopped listening. Cool. Thanks for tuning
Hi,
in,
Joe
buddy. Steph.
No. Know your beers.
What do we got?
So this episode's Know Your Beer segment was inspired by a walk through Penzie Spices in the Carytown neighborhood of Richmond, Virginia, with Joe Man. So Joe Man, this one's for you. As we walked around the store, we were sniffing all the wonderful herbs and spices, and inspiration was filling our homebrewer minds. So typically when we talk about flavor and aroma in beer, we think about, of course, hops and malt, followed by ingredients like fruit, chocolate, vanilla, and wood. But why not try some fresh herbs? I recommend not only brewing with fresh herbs, but growing them in your own backyard as well. The best herbs to brew with are the freshest herbs, so growing them yourself is a no-brainer. Here are a few fresh herbs that I recommend brewing with. First, rosemary. Known for its piney characteristic, it can easily complement certain kinds of hops, especially ones with a spicy or piney characteristic like Chinook or Columbus, or hops with a citrus character like Cascade, Citra, or Simcoe. Brew Your Own has a great rosemary IPA recipe on BYO.com. Click on the red banner on BeerbustersPodcast.com and get a free issue. This recipe calls for about 2 ounces of rosemary. Next, why not try basil? It offers a delicate sweetness and a twinge of spice that would pair nicely with wheat beers. Try mixing basil with something sweet like honey or something spicy like fresh hot peppers. Brew Your Own has a honey basil ale, which is a clone of Bison's organic beer honey basil on BYO.com. This recipe calls for a half ounce of fresh basil with 3 pounds of alfalfa honey. Next, one of my favorites, lavender. It offers a sweet, relaxing scent that defines many perfumes. Its elusive flavor, however, can add a pleasant, sweet finish to beer. Brooklyn Brew Shop has 2 great lavender beer recipes, Lavender Lady, which combines lavender with honey, and Lavender Lemon Blonde, which combines lavender and citrus. Next is chamomile. Known for its crisp green apple flavor and aroma, it would pair nicely with a Belgian wit, saison, or even a lighter pale ale. BYO.com has a great wit beer recipe with citrus peel, coriander, and chamomile, or try the chamomile blonde from Brooklyn Brew Shop. When adding fresh herbs, I recommend adding them at flame out or at the end of the boil, and then again during secondary fermentation. Try herbing, if you will. Herbing. When unsure of how much to use, always start small. You can always add more. But the sky's the limit when brewing with herbs. Let your imagination run wild, or simply visit your local market or spice shop for inspiration. I'd love to try brewing with sage or thyme, maybe fresh mint, or how about a pickle goza? With some fresh dill.
Which we've made before.
I know, which is amazing.
I might have an interesting one to add to that. I had a beer from Professor Fritz Bream that had bay leaves and rosemary. It was excellent. It was I think it was definitely a sour. I can't remember. I don't think it was a goza. I think it was a sour Brett with bay leaves, and it was phenomenal.
That sounds amazing.
It was really, really, really good.
And Steve Armstrong did the pizza beer. Would it have garlic and oregano in it? And that was phenomenal.
I just had a home brewer gave me a beer. It was Simcoe and what she was just talking about. It was freaking phenomenal. Rosemary and Simcoe.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Did you just say what we were just talking about?
Yeah.
That's the thing, if it's done right, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I would recommend in my experience as a home brewer, brewing with mint is oftentimes like, I'm going to make like a chocolate mint stout. If you use fresh mint and you're going to be like home brewing and you bottle condition it, it goes sour within a couple of weeks. So if you brew with mint, drink it fast. It is really, really good, but after about 2 weeks, it goes very sour. And not a pleasant sour like the corrosion. Yeah. It's not a pleasant, it's a very off-putting sour.
And if you're using anything other than fresh mint, be very light with it. It is strong really, really additive.
Strong.
It could overpower the entire beer.
Yeah, definitely.
You should do an orange mint beer.
An orange mint
Do
beer.
it.
I had at Bond Place
Like
Brewing
orange juice and toothpaste.
in Bethlehem, they had a mild that they put on nitro, and they added black pepper, mint, and something else. But anyway, it was
Tacos.
It should have been tacos. It was quite tasty. But no, typically you think of using mint and you think of a dark stout. You think of a darker beer.
Yeah.
But this was a very light, refreshing.
I've been seeing some lighter things. Like I've seen some people now have done like imperial stouts with like honey and like people are playing around. It's not the usual, dark and light and herby. It's people are really starting to play around out there. It's cool to see.
Oh yeah, like I think there's a big new trend right now with coffee pale ales. We got one on right now for our one-off Wednesday, a coffee version of the Tide Table, and it's it goes really, really well. It's surprisingly good. People always think coffee porters, coffee stouts, things, but coffee pale ales are really good.
Oh no, a year ago I would have never touched a coffee pale ale. Now it's like
They're
wow,
so
that's
good, man.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
We recently had Coffee John at
nice.
Chamonix Creek.
I've heard that's very good.
yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
And St. Boniface has a coffee IPA on right now, which pairs amazingly with their new pizzas, by the way.
Oh, yes.
They now have pizza.
You had me a pizza.
Yes.
You had me a pizza.
But theirs is... I like light beers with typically darker beer ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I can jive with
interesting.
that.
And anything that sounds like it wouldn't work, but it does, that's always fun.
It's fun to do.
Like
that's
orange mint.
one.
Yeah. Or like
That's
a
one of
sour
the fun
IPA, which,
things to do.
Yeah.
That's what I love about being a brewer is playing around and trying new things and seeing if it works and stuff. It's just a lot of fun.
So the corrosion that we just had, JP makes a key lime version of that.
oh yeah.
It is the most incredible thing ever.
And
also
when will
in
that
the-
be on again?
Oh man, I wish.
We'll probably,
Hoping.
I mean, that's one that we'll definitely bring back, probably sometime in the summer.
That and
it's
we
a
have
very good
a
summer drink.
Doppelbock called Sexy Bock, and
Bringing
we
Sexy
brew it with
love it.
chai tea.
Whoa.
It's called what was that called?
I think it was just called Sexy Chai.
Sexy Chai.
Yeah, Sexy Chai.
Oh my god! I had friends come and they were just like, "When? Where are the bottles? I'm going to get a case." I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's one keg."
Sorry, guys. And you can't even get a growler.
No.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it. It's that whole limited batch. Oh, you can only get. Sometimes it's part of the draw.
Dan,
So there's a...
there's a button to push.
I was watching Keira Knightley walk out of the seat.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Pirates of the Caribbean is playing on the big screen behind us.
Yes. Well, I got a thing.
I was
Focus,
watching
focus.
Keira Knightley walk out of the seat. Best excuse ever.
Round 2, fight.
Okay. So there is another growler that has been opened. Now, what is this one? It says ship on the cap, I think.
This one is our concrete ship. Little bit of a backstory. Towards the end of World War II, when
This beer was
steel, when this beer was first. No, steel was at a premium, and so the U.S. Navy was looking at other ways to build ships, and they actually tried to build ships out of concrete. And one of them, they did work. They floated, and they could hold a lot of weight, but they were very, very slow and not very maneuverable. After the war, some guy bought a concrete ship, and he was going to moor it here in Cape May and use it as a ferry dock. And right as they got it moored, that night there was a big
Not
storm.
ferry, A-I-R-Y.
Not
F-E-R-R-Y, Dan.
I've learned.
F-E-R-R-Y.
Ferries Bueller Day Love.
Sorry, Jimmy.
You and the puns, man. This is
Wow.
This is new. I haven't. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you stick a microphone in his front of his face, and all of a sudden he's a comedian.
It happens.
So
So he tried to moor it.
It got torn off its moorings and ran aground, and it's still there. So it sank. And you can actually go out to Sunset Beach here in Cape May and see the concrete ship. Oddly enough, its name is the SS Atlantis. I don't think I'd ever name a ship what did the Atlantis sink, right? It sank. So it's named the SS Atlantis. So this is a big Russian Imperial Stout that we do at 10.3%, I think it is this year.
Is that what it is?
Or
The note-
9.5
the notes say
according to the
9.5.
notes.
9.5. Sorry, that's the triple rectus 10.
Wouldn't be the first time our notes were wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I cut and paste them from his email, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like the King Porter. This is one of those scary ones where the grain comes all the way up to the door of the mash.
Oh, man.
Nice.
It's a fun one to brew in or mash in.
Sometimes like, oh god, please fit.
So-
It fit.
We I have to point out here at the top of the show we mentioned we had the two of you guys here, Mark and Jimmy, but we may or may not have had a third joining us. The third is now here, and he is, as we already mentioned, the president of the. I'm sorry, what was
Brewery.
it?
Owner.
Well, I mean, owner of the brewery, but
No,
president
the
of the
local
craft brewers. Yeah,
That's what it was called.
Well, I mean,
So hey guys, Ryan. I'm the president and co-founder of the brewery, and I'm the current volunteer president of the Garden State Craft Brewers Guild,
That's
which is
what
the
it was.
state trade association that promotes and protects craft beer in New Jersey.
it's an awesome thing to do. Besides, I mean, obviously the brewery here is a fantastic thing, but that's to volunteer for that is tremendous.
Yeah.
It's a huge service
Yeah,
to
it's-
craft beer drinkers.
It's a lot of work.
It is
I mean,
a
a couple
massive
days a
service.
week. I feel like I'm on the road dealing with it. So
Yeah.
it's my third year now doing as president of the guild and like trying
right.
to take it to a whole new level. And it's great because when we started, there was only 11 breweries in the state. Now there are more breweries than there are wineries. There are 80
Yeah.
breweries.
That's what it
and
should
another
be.
20. Yeah, and another
Wow.
20 in various
I didn't even know
stages of
that.
planning.
80
yeah.
breweries.
A lot of breweries.
Wow.
Way to go, Jersey!
Woo!
Yes, represent. Well, welcome to the table. As you can see, we've already gone
Thanks.
through one tasting segment, so we're a little loose at the moment.
I'm a little jelly.
There's plenty left.
more.
Yeah, there's
So
plenty.
we can always make more.
We're currently drinking Concrete Ship, but while we have you at the table, I've read something interesting in an email you sent me. You recently did a State of the Brewery address here,
We did. Yeah. So
which, first of all, that's pretty badass, State of the Brewery. But talk about that a little bit.
So as we've gotten bigger, it's definitely the project has really changed. When we started, it was just me, Chris, and my dad. We were three idiot home brewers, and we naively thought, what was the worst thing that could happen if we started a brewery? And we set out on the path. We had one account. We brewed 12 gallons at a time, and that was it. Today we have 49 employees. We have a 50th starting on in a week and a half.
Yay.
And yeah, I mean, we're one of the largest craft brewers in the state, distributed in 2 states. We brew more, I think, in one day than we did in our entire first year.
Yeah.
So it's really come a long way. So my role has certainly changed, going from brewing to coming down and just distributing the beer or whatever I had to do to chip in, to really a more like strategic and like a leadership type role. So one of the things that we really need to focus on as we get bigger is communication, and how do we distribute that information. And everybody needs to be on the same page in terms of like our vision and values. So when we started, we had a mission statement, because when we looked up how to write a business plan, it said you have to have a mission statement, and it was something right. It was something without any teeth. It was like, make beer, support local community with fresh ingredients, or I don't know, something that didn't have any teeth into it.
It was so good you can't even remember.
It was so good. Yeah, it was horrible. It was, but we had to change it, and that was part of our one of our projects this year. That will feed into a project that we're doing next year. Is coming up with a new purpose, mission, vision statement, and core values that speak to all that. So we did a tremendous amount of work putting our minds together to figure out what it is that we're all trying to do here together that's meaningful. And we articulated that through our first ever State of the Brewery address. So we're going to do several of these a year, probably once a quarter, where we get all of us together here in the tasting room and just talk about the different things that are going on and give everybody an opportunity to know what's happening. The next one that we're going to have is in the next couple months, and it's going to be about open book management. So we're going to open up our books to all of our employees, and this is what we make, and this is what we're doing, and this is how we get there together. But the first one was our mission, vision, purpose statement. So we rolled it out as a big PowerPoint. It was really fun. And
PowerPoints are always fun.
PowerPoints are super fun, right? I'm like really inspired. Every time I do a presentation, it's always through Pechacucha. If you guys are familiar with that, right? Like really fast, like 5 minutes. You do. I think it's just a few 20 seconds a slide, and only pictures. So
okay.
Yes.
less words,
All right.
more pictures. That's
Yeah.
really important for me and my ADD. So back to the State of the Brewery address. So one of my first jobs at a college was working for this fancy hotel, and what their difference was customer service. So every one of their employees had a Credo card with them, and that always spoke to me about customer service and like everybody marching to the same beat. So I ripped off that idea, and now everybody here has a Credo card. And our purpose at Cape May Brewery is to build a brewery that makes us proud.
Do you guys have your Credo cards?
I do indeed.
Mark is not
I
moving.
left it over there.
Fire.
So right after we had the State of the Brewery address,
To be fair, you've provided nothing but excellent customer service since you've been on the podcast.
This is
so
true.
you're fine.
This is true.
but it's not just about customer service, right? It's like what we do as a
Right.
company and how we act to treat each other. And right after the address, I challenged every group to say, hey, I'm going to approach 2 people in every group, and if you have these 7 core values and our purpose statement memorized, I'll buy everybody lunch. So
Wow.
the brew team didn't get it yet. Tasting room was the first ones right out of the gate.
Why
I'll
does
give
that
him a
not
second
surprise
chance.
me at all?
It's
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
busy.
expected, you know.
Yeah, so our purpose
We're
here...
half drunk all the time.
So our purpose at Cape May Brewery is to build a brewery that makes us proud. Right? We're a business first. We just happen to make beer. And we're very passionate about beer, but it's a focus on being a business. So our values are be a pro, inspire professional freedom and responsibility, be direct, honest, and respectful, foster creativity, good neighbor, work safe, work smart, make it better, and most importantly, have fun.
Nice.
Like, that speaks to really who we are as a business, and that guides our actions.
I like that you have foster creativity in there. I like that. It's really cool. The idea we're like,
And it's so true.
yeah.
Just look at that board.
Yeah,
Well, especially as a business grows, it's a lot harder to have that community and foster that creativity, and it's definitely admirable to keep that going as we grow.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the beer that we do, right? We're not trying to say we're going to be the Cape May IPA brewery. We let our production team come up with creative ideas and have fun with the beer. We really, Jimmy would say, we're pretty hands off.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I never came in thinking that I know everything and I'm going to be designing all of the beers, especially when it comes to the sour program and the barrel aging. I know a little bit about barrel aging, but like not really anything about sour and Brett and stuff. So I let Mark and Brian take care of all that, and all the one-off Wednesdays with JP. Like, one of the things that I learned, even before I came down here, one of the things that I liked about what these guys do down here is that your number one resource is your people, and if you're not giving them the outlet to do what they love and be happy and be experimental and be creative, then they're not going to be happy.
Bingo.
And it doesn't matter what you pay them; they're going to go somewhere else. So, giving them the outlet to foster their creativity is really important. And this whole the credo and the mission, and a lot of people are like, oh, it should be about the beer, and like you guys are making it a business and blah blah. It's like I've seen plenty of places where because they don't know how to run a business, the beer turns to shit.
Yeah.
They're forced to release beer that they shouldn't because they're on such a tight budget and everything like that, or they just can't get in the equipment or the know-how that allows them to really make good quality beer. So, I know that there's a lot of people like, no, it should be all about the beer, man. Like, no, we are a business and we need to maintain that, and that's what's going to keep us going and allow us to do what it is that we.
If you just want to make crazy beer, you can homebrew.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and just as an employee, like if your day-to-day sucks, why are you going to be inspired to do anything creatively?
Yes.
You're not.
Yes.
If your day sucks, you're just going to be like, whatever. IPA.
Yep.
Okay,
Definitely.
cool.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, so the business of we've already talked about you guys self-distribute to get the beers out there, and you bottle, a few ones, and then you have your releases here. But when you're able to do that and sell it successfully, that lets you use that pilot system that you showed us before we started here.
Yeah.
To do the crazy stuff for here, you still get to foster your own creativity while giving the people what they want.
Yep.
But you also don't just make crazy beers for the sake of making crazy beers.
Right.
There's a lot of smarts that go behind it. And what you're producing, there's a crap ton of beers up there, but every one we've had so far has been really tasty.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
I've
much.
been to breweries where, they have 20, 30 beers on the board, but
two of them
what's
are good.
the point? Like, are you just
And that-
making crazy beers to make crazy beers?
Well, that really speaks to the knowledge base we have here. I mean, besides just the two owners, Ryan and Hank, like Brian Hank, he just like everyone's had a part in this. They've come out with quality recipes that have come out real good, but at the same time, like the people that get hired here, anyone that gets hired here, one thing they have to do is come over and brew with us.
Oh, that's cool.
So whether they're working in the shop, whether they're a janitor, whether they're serving beer, or whether they're actually in the brewery, they have to come brew with us. So they understand what they're working for.
That's such
what
a
are we
good
doing
idea.
here? If somebody's just mopping up something over in the corner, you could go to them and be like, "Hey, what are hops for?" And they could be like, "I know how because I brewed that one day."
And they feel part of the process then,
Absolutely.
too. If they're in that brew house with you guys doing that, they feel invested in it.
And in the 5 years here, like I came here in the first year of Cape May. It was really funny. Like it was right when they were changing to the 15-barrel system. And, they had like 8 beers on tap or 10 beers on tap. And it's just grown incredibly since I've been hired here. And you can see the creativity that has been fostered just in the 5 years. And we're trying to push that even further here.
Eventually, you'll just have warehouses all around the airport. Then
We're working on that.
Oprah can have her pick wherever she wants to go. Right?
Yo, you missed the whole Oprah conversation.
Oh, man.
We were sponsored by Wawa
We're totally obsessed with her now.
Yeah, you're doing a collaboration beer with Oprah. I hope you know
Oh,
that.
excellent.
That's
You
actually-
get a beer, and you get a beer. Oh, there we go.
It's like he was here. He knows.
That's a lot bigger than the big O. We should go, you get a beer, you get a beer. That's it. There we go.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
So eventually, it's going to be the Cape May Brewing Company airport, right?
Or the airport at Cape May Brewing.
Airport at Cape May Brewing. I
Sponsored
like
by
that.
Oprah.
Sponsored by Oprah and Wawa.
And Wawa.
No.
Thank you, Wawa.
I don't know if we got to even talk about the concrete ship.
We talked about concrete ships. We didn't really
Right,
talk
but
much
not the
about
beer
the
in
beer.
That's
Did we,
right.
did we get to what happened after it was
So-
moored and that storm
All,
came in?
Yeah.
Hold on. All you have to know is it's a full-bodied, badass imperial stout.
That
Yeah,
about sums it
badass
up.
is right.
That
That's
does
all you
about
need to
sum
know.
it up.
And there's a ship over there,
And
Over
there's a
there.
ship.
He just looks
Actually,
wryly
I-
off to the
a
side.
sunken ship.
I did want to interject a little "Did you know?" and everybody's gonna hate me for this, but I don't care.
Go.
During World War II, the British
Did
actually
you know?
experimented with using ice, ships made out of ice, mixed, like ice mixed with sawdust. So the sawdust keeps it from melting, like it lasts longer.
I was going to say, leave it to those limeys
Yeah.
to, like, we're going to build it
They
on
never,
the
I don't
ice.
think they ever actually
Breaking news.
Like they made a prototype, but they never actually used them. But yeah.
Wow. Okay.
For the record, that was Mark doing breaking news, not me hitting the button of Wayne doing breaking news.
that did sound
Wait,
very
hit
similar.
it again. Well, wait, was that you live?
That was him.
That
That
was
was
him.
him.
Did it
just now.
yeah.
I think
I've been on this too many times.
That was the button.
Breaking news.
Wow. Wow.
Good job, Mark.
I did
I'm
not know that.
speechless. I'm speechless.
How it's kind of funny that they had minds like that in charge of that navy, and yet it was able to like conquer half of the known world.
Yeah,
And
well,
they're building ships out of ice.
But to be fair, by World War II, they had long since conquered the sea. Like that was definitely after
right,
all of that was done.
Okay, all right. I lived in England, or I lived in the UK for 7 years actually,
Whoa.
in Scotland and in England, and yeah, I
Well,
think
you mentioned earlier
Seattle.
when you were talking about the story about the parking lot.
Yeah.
Heineken.
That was with Heineken.
Right.
Yeah. I worked for Heineken UK. So
Right,
this
yeah.
this is the world of industrial brewing. I worked for a Dutch company in England making Fosters.
I know, right?
That's the world.
Australian for beer.
Yeah. So that's the world of industrial brewing, right
Yeah,
there.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. I've been all over. It's been a crazy trip. But yeah,
That's pretty
I could see those guys building. Sorry to all my good friends back in England, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know.
So, since you guys are slow drinkers and still have beer in your
Well,
glasses,
this is a big
I want to
beer.
mention
It is a big beer.
To be
you
fair.
guys are going to be at one of our favorite events, the Atlantic City Beer and
AC
Music
Beer
Fest.
and Music Fest. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
March
Oh, yeah.
31st and April 1st.
Flogging Molly is
Oh,
playing
I'm
there.
so stoked
And
for them.
Streetlight Manifesto.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Great
And
band.
I
Great lineup.
might be attending and drunk.
Then you need to take shirts.
No, I'm going to drink.
So yeah, we're really excited. We actually won the People's Choice Award for the AC Beer and Music Fest 2 years running now.
Yeah, they're right there.
Yep, they're right up there. You guys can see. Yeah.
Hey!
Boom, boom, boom.
Cool.
There they are. Yeah. So, so we're really excited. It's a great because I think it's like one of the largest beer festivals in the country. Definitely
Yeah.
one of the
It's like the second
largest in the country. Yeah, right behind GABF.
Yeah.
So it's stellar.
And live music. Hello.
Yeah, from one of the greatest Irish punk bands ever, Flogging Molly.
Yeah.
and Streetlight Man. Yeah, there's somebody else last year that I think they had Real Big Fish.
The year before was Everclear.
because we were there.
Last
Year
year,
before that was
Dashboard
Everclear.
Confessional
Oh, man.
was there last year. I know they're not Irish punk, but they were there last year.
So no, it's a great time, great festival. Last year was actually my first year going, and it's such a cool crowd.
It's
I've gone
so big.
It is big, but like everybody's laid back and chill as well.
Yeah.
Like I've been to big beer festivals like GABF where it's just insanity.
Yeah, every man for themselves.
Yeah, it's like elbows and just like it's just crazy. AC Beer and Music Fest is awesome. Everybody is in the vibe is so cool. Everybody's so chill and in such a good mood. It's really all about the beer and good music and great food. Everybody's together. I love it. I really do. I mean, a lot of beer festivals are great, but I've been to some that really just rub you the wrong way. This AC Beer Fest is great.
One
good
thing
time.
I love it. I
that
love
sticks
it.
out for me when we were at AC Beer Fest. We were lucky enough to tag along with our friends at Hopheads who had a stand there.
And I had laryngitis.
And you had laryngitis, so you sounded like I do now.
Or
And-
I like nothing.
Yeah, or like nothing. Yeah, so they were kind enough to let us set up and sell some of our T-shirts at their stand. But being in there before the fest actually opened, and they had sort of the barrier set up, like when the public starts to line up and ready to get in, and we were like almost at the opposite end of the facility,
Hall.
the hall, wherever it was, and like it sounded like a distant army.
It did.
Like
It sounds
you-
like a roar.
Like you can hear the crowd. Yeah, like slowly, and I imagine like it's like sitting on the walls of Gondor with the hordes of Mordor coming at you from across the Pelennor fields.
I don't understand anything you just said.
But it was a very unique experience. Like there's just this massive people like all the way like, and you could just hear them getting closer.
Not only
and
that,
closer.
but they were like being walked in by the pipe band. the pipe and drum band and everything like that. So you got the bagpipes and the drums, like walking them into the.
war
It's
drums.
like an invasion of beer nerds.
Yeah. And then
Invasion
it just
of beer
like
nerds.
washes over. It's
Yeah, no,
Definitely an
it's a great time. AC's a cool town. So yeah, awesome stuff.
You have bottles in front of you.
I have bottles here in front of me. I'm gonna open them off to the side. I don't think they'll gush, but sometimes you never know.
Not only are they bottles, they are wax.
I'm gonna point it at the soundboard.
Oh no! Well,
no,
I mean,
it's the most important, expensive thing we ever bought.
Yeah, Wayne already
true.
spilled soda on his computer, so
All right, that one did not gush. We are good to go.
Now, so I don't know if you guys already talked about this project or not, but the barrel-aged series that we did. So, all right, so you already got the intro in this beer.
Yeah, just briefly, but no, definitely.
It definitely speaks to, trying to make it better. Brian, for a long time, wanted us to do sour beers or experiment with sours and mixed fermentations, and then do some barrel aging stuff. And we really didn't have the space until we moved over into our production facility, which is about 500 feet away, which is where the majority of our beer is made. And again, by chance, we had this space open up. So this is in this building where the tasting room is. We have our pilot system, and then we also have our mixed fermentation, which is nice. We keep everything separate. And this is the scupper.
This is the scupper.
Which is the third in the series.
This is the third one that we've done. Yes.
So we've done 4 so far this year, and the first one that came out with a keel, we don't have any available right now, but I think Beer Connoisseur or Beer Advocate named it like a 94.
Gave it a 94.
Yeah,
really?
so that was our first one. We were really proud of that, so we came out of the gate really strong.
this aroma is incredible.
This beer should have your picture on the label, Wayne. This
It
is a
probably
Wayne
should,
beer.
Yeah. I was just looking at it. I would say it's got 3 of my favorite words in the world: barrel aged saison. Like
there you
that's
go.
all you need.
Oh my
all you need.
God!
It's so true.
It's got a
This
really
is-
nice level of complexity to it. It's got a little funk, little tart to it. It's got some nice little Brett character to it. And we've been doing a lot of samplings, especially around the holiday time. We don't get as much traffic here. And people seem to be drawn to the scupper just because it's balanced, but it's got something unique where people are like, whoa, I've never really had anything like that before. And I think this would go really, really well with some food.
Oh, definitely, and I think it's also getting some wine fans who I'm not really that big of a beer fan, and you give them this and well, I didn't even know beer could taste like this. This is fantastic. So this started off as our spring seasonal is Misty Dawn Saison, and that's what the base beer of this is. And then we aged it in those California red wine barrels with a ton of Brett. And for 9 months, I think it was, aging in the barrels with about 10 different strains of Brettanomyces. And then when we bottled it up, Brettanomyces is really cool because it releases different kinds of flavors depending on what sort of conditions it's in.
Right, yeah.
So when you have it in the fermenter, it's releasing nice and fruity flavors. They're kind of different. But then when you put it under pressure, like in a bottle, that's where you start to get the funk. Those horsey, barnyard, really nice funky flavors. So what we did is we then bottled it up with no other bottle conditioning yeast. We just stirred it up, let the Brett stay in there, and bottled up with the Brettanomyces maybe about 3 months before we released it. So it was all 100% bottle conditioned with Brett, and really let those funky flavors come out. And that was back in, I want to say September. Yeah, Ryan, it was September when this came out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, September. So this has been aging since September. If you get them here at the brewery, they're in the cold box, but you can put them back in your cellar and it'll wake back up again and continue to condition. But it's just so nice. It's nice and fruity. There's peach and apricot, and that funk, and the barnyard, the really funky is starting to really come out. Oh, I love
And it
I
almost
love
seems
it.
like I'm starting to notice now it's second use wine barrels, and you get a subtle bit of wine character. I think when it was young, you didn't get a lot of that, but now you're starting to get a little touch of wine.
Those vinous notes are starting to come through. Yeah,
nice.
no, this is we've done the 3 so far: the keel, the skeg, and the scupper. I really think this is my favorite. I'm a big Brett fan. I really think this is my favorite one. I just love this beer so
Those
much.
are all types of ships.
They're parts on boats.
Parts
so
of
scupper
boats.
is actually holes on the side, which are on the side of the bottle.
Okay.
That basically prevent overflow. So water gets on the deck and it goes off the side into the
Oh, I see.
so all
okay,
those-
so
all
that's what a
those-
scupper is.
yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, sorry. I was prepared this time because the 100th episode, you were like, "What's a skeg?" And I'm like, "I'm
don't
sorry,
know.
Kate May, I failed you. I don't know what a skeg is." So
That's
I'm
right, I
prepared.
remember that now.
Oh,
Yes.
you do now?
So
though?
what is it?
I do
What's
now.
the skeg?
Oh, no. I know the scupper. Damn it.
Oh, you only got the scupper. Come on.
You have failed.
It's the keel of a sailboat.
There you go. He knows.
There we go.
So a skeg is part of the rudder, but it's a stable part. The rudder moves, the skeg does not. So it
Okay.
helps keep the directional stability of a ship.
All right.
In surfer terms, I'm a surfer, and it's like the big fin on a longboard is also called the skeg. is what we
so it's
call
like
them as well.
a balancing or
Exactly. It's part of the rudder, but it's a stable. It doesn't, the
Stabilizing,
rudder moves
yeah.
back and forth. The skeg does not.
Nice.
And then the original one was the keel. The keel is
It's just the
is like the base of the ship where it starts to narrow down into a point.
that
and
one
it's-
I've heard of.
Yeah, and it's the most important part of a ship. When you start to build the ship, you start with the keel, and if you screw that up, then you screw up the whole ship. It's not going to work. So the keel is the opening part of the ship. It's the most important. That's why our first release was
the keel and
Yeah.
then the skeg.
and then the skeg.
And everything builds off of
And
it.
then the scupper.
everything- yeah,
and then
yeah.
sometime in the well, I guess this is going to be airing in January. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing Top Sail. So Top Sail is the highest sail on an
It's a
old
little more
masted ship.
self-explanatory.
Yeah,
Top
yeah,
sail.
the top sail. Exactly. That one makes a bit more sense, I guess. I don't have to dumb it down for everybody out there, unless you've had as many beers as we've had.
Are you going to have a crow's nest?
I think we should.
That'd be cool.
I also really want to have a mizzen mast, just because I think that's I just love saying that word.
Mizzen mast?
Mizzen mast. It's the mizzen
Interesting.
mast.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
The mizzen mast is the mast, the main mast on the ship.
Okay.
So you have the mast is the wooden part that the sails come off of.
Right.
That's
Right.
the mast. The mizzen mast is the main mast that many different sails, including the top sail, will be coming off of.
So is that
Okay.
like the one in the middle?
Yes. Yeah. Which might be, I don't know, but that might be where mizzen comes from. Mizzen
I know
middle.
what bilge is. You should do a bilge.
What's a bilge?
Because nothing sounds more appetizing
that
than a
sounds
nice tall
delicious.
glass of bilge.
I want a pint of bilge.
Battle of the Bilge.
Amazing.
Bilge is the nasty, sludgy water that accumulates at the bottom of like a large ship.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's-
no,
it's
don't
not-
do
No,
that.
What was
That's
the-
like toe fungus.
That's like
or
foot
whatever.
fungus. That's
Yeah.
like foot
There we
fungus.
go. Soak it in beer and you'll be fine.
Here, drink athlete's foot.
Yeah. Have some bilge fungus. Knock it
Jimmy, we've got new beer names. Write them down. Lock them in.
out. Oh yeah.
You'll never remember this conversation.
I like bilge. I would
No,
drink bilge.
it's on the record. We
In
can always
3
go
weeks
back.
we will.
Yeah, it's good. We can go back and listen to
Yeah,
it.
you
over
can listen
and
to
over.
it. Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. You're just going to listen to yourselves over and over again. Hello to the rest of the brewing staff at Cape May Brewing as you're listening to this, I'm sure.
Hi,
yes.
Andrew, Mike,
On a brew
brew
day.
day.
Have fun.
JP, Eddie,
Dawn.
Dawn Patrol, and everybody else. Yeah, it's all around. It's just a great team down here. I dig it. This is the third major brewery I've worked at, or third brewery I've worked at, and I just love it down here.
Nice.
I really do.
Well, Ryan, you had mentioned you have 49, soon to be 50 employees, which is a decent size for a regional brewery. That's so that's between this location, obviously the brewing staff, and then you have sales reps sort of out in the field and that sort of thing.
We talked a little bit about the future of Cape May Brewing. We've talked about the centrifuge coming, which is really exciting. The increase of the bottling run, now expanding the lab, and of course the sour beer facility. But as an owner, what are your goals for the future of Cape May?
My vision.
Yeah, your vision. The
We have a
continued
bunch of big
evolution.
projects. Yeah, we have a bunch of big. As we get bigger and bigger, we have to look further and further in the future in terms of planning. And some of the stuff, that mentioned we have on the plate for 2017. It's in the immediate, right? The centrifuge, the lab. We're actually going to be expanding our production facility where we have the tasting room at it. And one thing I'm really excited about is building out a bunch of office over there. Did you guys get a tour of that building before you started?
Well, I did.
Steph did. We
You
were a
did?
little late.
Yeah, so you can see it's like this is desks everywhere, and we're building that office. We're building out a nice big dedicated lab area and conference room, and then the tasting room will be all over there. So we're really excited for that. We're going to be announcing a big project in probably the middle of next year. So we're not able to talk about it now, but we'll start teasing it out a little
Teaser.
bit.
Cool.
So we have, right. So we
Big
have
news.
some big announcement we're working on, and we're just like focusing on increasing our staff and quality of the product, and making sure everybody's happy and having fun.
Awesome.
We're definitely hitting it so far. I gotta say.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track.
So far, definitely quality is on point, and
everyone
everybody-
seems happy.
Yeah, everybody here seems like they're having a blast. That Credo is doing some good. I mean, every beer that we've had so far is incredible. Sounds like you guys let JP kind of do whatever he wants to do. I want to try that soda macchiato. I'm going to get one of those before we leave.
Yeah, 5 down, 16 to go.
All right, let's do it. All right, tasting 4. Here we go.
Damn it! Now you've challenged. Now I can't leave.
Yeah, I know, right? Although to be fair, I mean, there's some soda up there, so.
Yeah, but 21 of them are
The
beers.
soda. Well, let's talk about the sodas for a minute.
Yeah.
Because the soda started just as something for kids to enjoy because when they were here with their parents. And then we realized, geez, we're selling a lot of soda, so let's expand on that. And JP, who is trained professionally as a chef and went to the CIA, is the one who makes sodas.
Not that CIA.
The culinary,
I have to clear. Culinary Institute.
Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York.
Which is
I was going to say, that's quite a fall.
Yeah. Which is a highly regarded cooking institution.
our chef is former KGB.
Yeah, KGB, CIA.
I was
He
in the
will kick
field,
your
and then I
ass.
started making soda.
Anyway.
In Russia, beer brews you.
Well, to be fair, it does here as well.
So, so all the sodas are made from scratch. So we looked at you look at craft soda, and it's not really transparent like it is beer. So with beer, right, you have our bearded brewers, and we're stirring the pitchers of them, stirring the pot, and add ingredients and that sort of thing. But with soda, you never see that.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because most of the time it's just extract. It's just pure extract and sugar. And what we're doing is we're changing that. So we're taking fresh ginger, fresh lemon, like pure cane sugar, and mixing that and making ginger ale out of it. And we're celebrating that. So we'll be bottling our ginger ale soon. Our root beer is all made from all natural ingredients. It's our own blend. It's not extract or anything like that. And then he has other sodas that he expounds on. So we're excited to expand out a little bit and try some sodas. And they're really, really good.
That's cool.
And they're like,
You gotta try 'em.
I think I've never really been a big fan of ginger ale until I had JP's ginger ale, and it's just so good. Yeah, our choppy ginger ale it's phenomenal. It's really good. It's got that nice ginger bite, and I never thought I liked them until I had it.
And you can leave here by the growler. There are people that ask for them by the growler.
Soda,
We have to-go cups, but people also are like,
my
let me
favorite
get a
is like
growler of that.
my favorite is when like a little 10-year-old walks in here and ponies up to the bar with his growler. They got his growler filled.
I'll have a
soda.
root beer, please.
That is
In
the best.
training.
It happens.
That is awesome. That
Where's
is
your mom,
awesome.
kid?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Shut up and feel it. Wow. So we talked about the AC Brewfest, but you guys also have a big tap takeover coming up at the Cloverleaf.
Yeah, the Cloverleaf.
March 21st?
March 21st. The Cloverleaf has something like 28 taps or something around there. I might not be getting that exactly. And we're taking them all over on March 21st.
Wow.
Which obviously is also right around St. Patrick's Day. We might be playing around with that a little bit. Get some nice Irish-style stouts out there. But it's just, the Cloverleaf is a fantastic bar. I think it's rated as one of the top bars, definitely in New Jersey, if not
Craft
in
beer
the
bars, sure.
Yeah, one of the top craft beer bars in New Jersey, possibly in the United States. And so March 21st, we're going to have a big tap takeover there. A bunch of us will be up there representing as well. If you want to come and nerd out and ask questions of the brewers, or just like tell us how good and amazing our beers are, or maybe you think that we should do something different. I'm always open. Yeah, but it's just the Cloverleaf is like one of those accounts, one of those places where they know quality so much that it makes us happy to be able to like take over all their taps and get in with all of their fans there as well, and be a big part of the scene that they're building. It's just
well, it's got to be like there's not a whole lot of breweries that could walk in and take over
And just bring 28
taps.
Different kegs.
But not only that, but to bring in 28 beers for those 28 taps that are all good and worth it, for them to say this is.
Will they give you a sampler of 28?
That's
if you can drink it all.
I want a plate of 28.
I mean, they're all like thimbles.
She got like one of those long skis is what I was thinking. Like,
28
taste on each one. Yeah.
So something else
Just doing some
kind
math.
of
140 ounces.
put out there. It's more towards in the summertime, but it's something a little unique around here. Is the Brews by the Bay beer fest that we have over here. It's put on by the New Jersey Brewers Guild, and it's the only brew fest in the country that spans 2 states.
Whoa,
so we
that's cool.
take the Cape May Lewis Ferry, which is about 5 minutes from here, and you have the brew fest in New Jersey.
The one that you guys were going to put a brewery in.
Ferry.
The one that we were going to we were going to steal the
It's
boat
all
and buy.
the New Jersey breweries are down here for that brew fest. Then you hop on the boat. There's beer on the boat. And then you go to Delaware, and then it's all the Delaware breweries like Dogfish and some of those
that's
places.
so cool.
This past year, we actually had the New Jersey Guild and the Delaware Guild meet together, do a collab beer, and the only place that was available was on the boat. So you have the Jersey Beer
now people
Fest,
are going
you
to
get
believe
the
this
collab
again.
beer on the boat.
Oh, we'll do
and
it.
then you go for the Delaware Beer Fest.
That's
And
pretty
it's,
cool. I like
It was
that.
still
yeah.
like I've had we've had people when we do a new release, like especially with the keel and the skeg and the scupper and the boughs of barley lining up out the door, waiting for us to release it. But getting on a ferry and there's literally 600 people in line waiting for your beer is
Wow.
like a pretty big boost to your ego.
Yeah, I bet.
When you go down and see that happen, you go up and like, hey, oh my god, look at all these people. And it was a great beer. It was a collaboration between the Garden State Brewers Guild and the Delaware State Brewers Guild. It was this lovely old school Dutch ale with blood orange and cardamom and hibiscus thrown in. And it was stellar. It was really good. We sold it all on the boat. It's about an hour and a half boat ride over, and it was gone by the time we made it over to Delaware. It's an awesome festival. It's really, really cool. And like Mark said, the only one that goes between two states. It's such a fun time.
And what month is that? That's in the
That's
summer, right?
September. It's the week. It's always the Saturday after Labor Day.
There it is. Yep. Yeah. So end your summer with one of the best beer festivals. Between two states. It's good times.
And at the tap room here, every month you do the fireside chats.
Yeah, so that's a new one that we've started up.
We have. Again, we have such a great staff, and that's really who makes us who we are. So we have an event coordinator, and that's part of her responsibility is coming up with programming, and part of the programming that we do here in the tasting room is fireside chats. So about once a month, we'll have different kind of events revolving around the fire pit that we have out in the beer garden, and whether it be Jimmy and Brian talking about beers, or me and Chris talking about how we started the business and kind of where we're going, or it's really anything. We kind of leave it up for anybody here to talk about whatever they want, and we think people will come in and talk about it with the other. That's it.
Well, it was really amazing. The first one that we did was right after we came out with Three Plows, which is, I think as we mentioned earlier, the first modern beer made with 100% New Jersey ingredients. So that one was all about ingredients. And I was like, yeah, this is, I'm into beer ingredients, and I know there are a lot of other people that are into beer ingredients, but are they going to come here? We had a packed house. There were all these people hanging out. We just want to talk about all the ingredients that go into beer and where you guys get them and what you can do with different things and stuff like that. And it was so cool. We're just sitting there. It was only supposed to be an hour. I think we ended up hanging out for over 2 hours. Just nerding out, talking about different ingredients and where you source them and ideas that we come up with, and how when you use them in different places, how they can act differently in your beer and give you different flavors. And it was so cool. It was so much fun. I mean, it's not just like a lecture. It's a conversation around the fire pit. It's a lot of fun. And it was a chilly November evening. It was so cool. It was really fun. And then we did one on barrel aging beers, and we actually got samples from barrels, not even stuff that we've bottled up yet. Stuff that isn't even out yet. We got samples straight off of the barrel.
That's fun
to serve to people. Yeah. So if you really want to have something super cool and rare, something like that. It's so cool. It's a lot of fun. And again, it's just hanging out and shooting the shit and talking, nerding out on beer. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's a cool event to have. That's pretty unique. You don't really see a lot of.
Yeah.
Tap rooms do they do movie night, or they do all you can eat shrimp night or whatever. But to have
all you can eat shrimp night.
Yeah, I don't know. It just popped into my head. But to have a nerdy
Wayne is sick.
I'm a little delusional. I apologize. But no, to have a beer geeky event.
Yeah.
For people.
And a beer geeky event that's not just either a tasting or maybe come and meet, but it's an honest to God conversation.
It's meaningful.
Yeah. This is us sitting around the fire, shooting the shit, and having fun.
See, that's good. It's less of a presentation and more of, like you said, a conversation kind of deal.
Which is somewhere when I was first coming up with the outline, and Ryan actually came down and was like, this is too much of a presentation. We want this to be interactive conversation between all, and the outline went right out the window, and it went even better than I even had outlined. Good. So
we had some talking points to keep things moving, and then that's all we needed.
And just let it naturally flow after that.
It's kind of like a beer podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of what we do.
More or less.
Just making it up as we go along.
So if you're interested in learning more about Cape May, attending one of these events, or coming and drinking beer, they are CapeMayBrewery.com. You can find them on all the socials at Cape May Brew Co.
Cape
Facebook,
May Brew Co.
Twitter,
all of the socials.
Instagram. All the socials.
Cool. Now, all the barrel age releases that you said you've mapped out for the year, are they going to be, I guess, promoted on the social medias?
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
There might even be like little previews of us bottling them up or racking out of the barrels and things like that.
Sexy selfies.
Yeah, sexy selfies. Just something to get you, get you a little, get your heart racing a little bit.
I would be
Yeah,
interested to try that
Yeah,
Flanders
yeah.
Red you guys have back there.
Yeah.
I will.
Let's
I
look
will keep
forward to
a
that
vigilant eye on your social media
Yeah.
for that.
All
yes.
the socials.
I think
socials.
that is definitely one on the agenda for 2017. Is
Very
that Flanders
cool.
Red?
I can't wait. I can't wait,
Yeah.
guys. Everything we've had here so far has been just spot on and blowing me away. You guys are doing a phenomenal thing here. Yes, that was Wayne. His mind is blown.
No, you don't explain it to the audience. That was only
know.
for the people at the table.
No, and our audience knows.
But then there's just like a weird noise that came out, and they're like,
Nobody will think twice about
they're
it.
Just glossing
You
over that
you pointed
noise.
it out. That was a special.
or was that a fart?
Yeah, exactly. That was a special treat for our friends that are here right now.
Yes.
Not for our podcast audience.
So if you're able to come down to South Jersey, come out to Cape May Brewing, and just enjoy the hell out of it. There's a cool self-guided tour as you come in. I mean, I didn't even get to talk about how
A
much I love
mandatory tour.
legally mandated self-guided tour.
But it's pretty awesome.
But you guys made it fun, and like, there's a picture that Steph took of me behind like a
Yeah,
like
I'll
a
have to
beer
post all these
window.
pictures.
Dan drowning in the
that's-
fermenter.
That was important for us. We did that in the beginning of the year. Instead of just having a piece of paper or some like half-hearted attempt at putting something on the wall, we owned it. So we got a local artist who does a lot of work on the Wildwood Boardwalk to do an installation piece and make it really interactive and fun.
Yeah, there's
unlike anything I've ever seen.
You can sample different varieties of hops and different varieties of malt. You can pretend that you're climbing in a fermenter. There's even a Plinko game on who's going to buy the first round, and it's great. It's
That's the
fantastic.
closest I will ever come to playing Plinko. And you know what? It landed on me, so I owe somebody a beer.
No, it landed on
It
you.
landed on you.
I landed on you.
It landed on you. So
You're
you,
buying.
or you, or you,
You.
or you.
No, mine,
You.
mine landed on me.
You.
Oh, his landed on him.
Mine landed
no,
on me.
his landed on me. His landed on him.
In this
me.
kid.
So
Anymore.
many
him, you.
pronouns.
As if we couldn't make who's buying the first round more confusing.
Yeah, right.
I think
It's-
they bought the first
But it's
round.
you and it's me.
And what's on second?
And who's on third?
I don't know.
I don't know.
First
I don't know.
base.
I don't know who's pitching. I don't know who's pitching.
I don't
Dan,
know
make
what's
it
on third.
stop.
Anyway.
I am so confused now.
I don't know what's going on.
I mean, this has been an awesome time. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it
glad to
has.
see that the crowd has shown up for you guys on it's a Friday afternoon.
It's
And you
early
guys
yet,
are-
too.
Yeah.
It's packed in
December.
here, man.
Yeah.
South Jersey knows how to drink,
In
man.
they know how to have a good
2016,
time.
wait, 17. What year is it?
Well,
It
currently
doesn't-
it's 16, but we'll soon be 17.
It helps that Pirates of the Caribbean is on the big screen.
It's
Yes.
over now, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully they go to the next one.
Kieran,
It'll probably be Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Oh,
It
better.
probably will.
Even
Yeah.
better.
Of course.
I can get behind
Obviously.
that.
Of course. I can't help but stare at the board of beers. Yeah, I said that right. The board of beers,
Board of
and
beer.
and try to
Beer,
plan
beer,
out my next
boards.
one, because there will be a next one. But seriously, anybody who is able to come down to the area, please come to Cape May Brewing, because this is phenomenal.
The tasting room, as we said, is on the property of the Cape May Airport.
Yes.
Currently, it's open every day, noon to 8, and then in the summer, we're open 11 to 9.
And if you're lucky, there will be an appearance by Oprah.
Possibly.
May or may not happen.
May or may not happen.
put
may
money
or
on
may
it.
not have tacos.
I'd put
Yes,
money.
No
and
guarantee.
coming soon, taco
Oh,
place
that's-
next door.
Your taco of choice.
It's your taco of choice. Well, gentlemen, we can't thank you for having us out here enough.
Thank you very much for coming.
So much fun.
Yeah.
We've had a blast, man. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah,
This
thank
is awesome.
you.
Anytime.
This
Yeah.
is so cool, and it was worth the drive, easily. But sadly, this brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. Mark is shaking his head as if he won't be on again. I
He'll be
mean,
back.
let's face it,
He'll
you're
be back.
this is like your 7th time or something like that. You're fifth? Not like anyone's counting or anything. Yeah. But guys, thank you so much. This is incredible. And man, so good. Well, as Mark is crying now. Well,
No, that's Jimmy crying.
well, it's everybody's crying. Well, I am Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brologist.
Why?
Steph Hefner.
And the demented and fermented.
Wayne Baker.
No squids were harmed in the making of this episode. I don't think, at least. We'll see you next time.
Amazing.
And the pickles. Amazing.